I rank where the view is nothing less than phenomenal. For how I express and project from my abdominal. The only view better, both my daddy and my mama know. No living parents, my sons give me balance. My wife is my serenity, this mic is my identity. The world is foul enough, that's why I write without obscenities. Provoking danger with broken language and spoken anguish. Begging to get hurt, why would you ask to go through changes? Yes, Lord, life's a chessboard, master the angles. Control the tempo, be the one who holds the info. Acknowledge is just as deadly as machete swings. When spoken, the truth is as potent as that Medellin. While others swear the style is free, I just let it ring. Our time is undervalued, soldiers make us better kings. My family's on my shoulder, reaching after better things. Today I take the shot, for them I'd rather set the screen.
My mama told me follow my dreams. My daddy told me get it by any means. Stand tall, make him bow to a king. But I've evolved, you can see the resolve. Look in my eyes when you speaking to God.
Life and for those who we caught up in using what I was taught with the muse. I guess they call it proving I'm more than an artist. Penciling out my darkest while stenciling out a harvest. And storing what gets me from A to B just like garages. Instrumental with collages. Envision what I've been drawing. Broadway to give you rhythm like the great Lena Horne. So bent on, found comfort in the storm. Find peace and on when you see them others perform. Organized chaos, I'll cast it like hey ya.
Yo, party people in the place to be. What's good? It's number one Chief Rockin' Knicks Universe, your main man, Uncle Freezie. Welcome to the premier Knicks in the Morning show. Let's get this party started. Let's go, let's go, let's go. For those of y'all listening, tuning in, thank you for rocking. Appreciate y'all. Whether y'all are working from home, all my people coming off a third shift, at home, getting some rest, getting ready for that grind. Thank y'all for tuning in. Appreciate y'all, man. Appreciate y'all. Whether you in your truck riding down the road, appreciate y'all for coming in and hanging out with us. This is y'all's spot. If you haven't done so already, subscribe to the channel, hit the like button, comment on the videos. What else? Join the channel. Consider being a member of the channel. Let me see. I'm going to see if I can pull it up to show y'all where the join button is. Because joining is I think it's like $1.99 a month for those that want to have their comments be priority. If you want to have your comments be priority comments and you want to talk to me behind the scenes, if you want me to be available to you to talk that Knicks talk the way that y'all like to have that talk to y'all, consider becoming a member and have all access to the Blorange Tears family, Lee and DSJ and Bully and King Ribby and Free Keith and GI and Woodshed and all of us, man. You wanna get in that circle, man. Consider becoming a member so that we can bring you into the family And then that way, when y'all hear our wild OD takes, it don't blindside you. You know where it come from. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. So it's good to see y'all, man. Good to see y'all. I'm gonna see if I can pull it up because I think King Ribby was asking me. King Ribby was asking me about it. So I'm gonna put. Let me see. Where is it? Where is it? Yeah. I think King Ribby was asking me about it. So I'm gonna put it up here on the screen. I'm gonna have it. I'm gonna show y'all on the screen because I think King Ribby was asking me about it. So I'm gonna just go through. I want to talk some Knicks, but for those that have questions and stuff, I'm just gonna show this really quick. Right. I was intended to just talk. I just wanted to talk Wizards, but I think I got 2 people asking me this morning, and so I wanna show y'all this. Bim. So that's the homepage. So that's the homepage right now, and where you see the Blorange Tears logo adjacent to it, and the blue hyperlink is our. I'm gonna click on it. That's our swag shop, and right here where you see the arrow, where you'll see a join button. Right there in the middle of the screen, you'll see the join button. And you click that join button, and that's what happens.
Yo, it's here finally.
You see the video
Blorange
show
Tears membership.
letting you know what you get by
Become
joining the channel,
of the Blorange Tears
and then
channel
you move on
to
from
get
there with your
access to
selections and
certain
such.
perks exclusive to Blorange Tears members only.
Man, that
It's
dude
gonna be
loved
dope.
it. That dude be
Can't wait
hogging
till
the
y'all
camera. He
join,
got
man. I'll
teddy
holler at
bears
y'all
in the
later. It's
back.
Uncle Freezie. Peace.
Y'all remember teddy bears? Y'all remember when I used to have teddy bears behind me, man? Y'all remember that? Y'all remember the teddy bears and all of that? The video playing? All right, so there's that. I'm gonna move away from that. Yo, still Knicks fans is in the building. What's good, man? I'm gonna throw this link in the chat too, real quick, just for my peoples. Still Knicks fans in the building. Good morning, Knicks family. Salute to the chat. Salute, salute, salute. Let's go, Knicks. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Corey Lee is in the building. David L is in the building. What's good, David L? The R&B legend DSJ is in the building. What's good, y'all? JM in the building. All right, all right. The son of the legend, Kerry Cox, is in the building. Bam. Kerry Cox in here. Now we can get started. Now we can get started. So I understand that we play the Wizards tonight, and it'll be easy to take them for granted because that team seems like they're on the verge of tanking. They're 2-9, right? They're 2-9, and it seems like they're on the verge of tanking, right? What I want to say to Knicks fans is this. Those are the type teams you don't want to take for granted. Those are the type teams you don't want to take for granted, man. You just don't. You don't want to come out here thinking or go out there thinking you could just roll the ball on the floor and they're going to lay down. It just don't happen that way. I'm going to share something with us right quick. Something I want everybody to see. What's good, boss man?
Nothing much, man. Shout out to everybody, all of the Blorange Tears familia in the building. Salute to my man, Uncle Freezie. I just wanted to say real quick, my brother, I appreciate you. Always good to chop it up with you. If you could give me a little time, I mean, get on your opening arguments and segments here. Drop me down, and I'll be on. I'll be with my thumbnail thing. I'm just trying to cook some lunch for my wife. Once I'm back, I'll show my face again. You can bring me back up. But I just wanted to make sure I got in.
No doubt, no doubt. Thank you for being here, boss. I appreciate your company.
All right, I'll be right back. You know, as long as it takes me to cook. I'm not the fastest.
Hey man,
cook, but I think I can whip something together.
Make sure you be Master Chef. Don't do our people. Bro. Don't be talking about the microwave, bro. Be Master Chef, okay?
No, we chefing it. Chef, I'm not Chef Curry, but I'm chefing it up on the stove. So we'll see what we can do.
Yeah. All right, I'll see you in a few minutes.
I'll be right back.
All right. Kenny Payne is in the building. Okay, D Block is in the building. All right, so basically what I want to do is yo, Sherwin is in here. Sherwin, what's good, brother? So basically what I want to do real quick, right? I was gonna do fancy graphics and all that stuff. I think I'm pretty good at that, doing the graphics and stuff. But the thing about it is I didn't want to do that and then not have the source. I find it to be more credible to put the source up here. So I'm going to use ESPN for this, right? And so what I want everybody to see is the points allowed column, right? If you see points allowed, look at the team that's allowing the fewest amount of points through 11 games, right? And I know what people are going to say. Hey, Uncle Freezie, sample size. No, I don't want to sit. To me, when you use sample size, when you talk about certain stuff, I think you take away from the essence of evaluation, right? Because you don't have to see things numerous times to know what they are, right? Like you don't have to see Beyonce 82 times to know she's a beautiful lady. You can see her once to know she's a beautiful lady, right? And the reason why I say that is because, or use that, and not to disparage everybody else's opinion, but to let you know that sure, analytics is great, right? Right? Analytics is great, right? But you also have to trust the eye test, right? And so the reason why analytics are great and stats are great is because you can balance them with the eye test, right? And so that's the reason why I want to put this thing up on the screen. What I want to share with you guys is not hyperbole, right? Not hyperbole, right? It's I don't want to overvalue or overhype a standard. What I'd like to do though is establish a point of reference. The Knicks are going all in on this fire ant style defense, right? We're going all in on this fire ant style defense. And while I know it seems like we should be taller We should have more height. We need a 7-foot backup power forward. It seems like we need a 6'10" small forward off the bench. What I'm saying as telling y'all is why. I'm asking y'all why. Why do the Knicks need I'm asking y'all, right? Why do the Knicks need a 7-foot backup power forward off the bench when the Knicks, in theory, have the best defense in the NBA through 11 games? Keith Turner is in the building. What's good, Keith Turner? The purpose of this fire ant defense is to have the number one defense in the NBA. And while that's a pipe dream, because you can do it with any type of defense, you could do it with any type of personnel if you have the right personnel. But in Tom Thibodeau's opinion, we can do it with multiple players. It's because here's the thing about that also. Another thing about that. You don't know how great this team's defense can be because sample size, we're only 11 games into it. You don't know how great this defense is going to be over the course of a season. Right? And for those that say, well, it's only 11 games, you don't know what's going to happen when you play the best teams in the NBA with this defense. Keith Turner, is that right? Am I right? Keith Turner says, you got to match size. There is no way around that. Actually, that's false. That's false. And here's why. King Ribby in the building. King Ribby, what's good, bro?
What's good, Freezie? Uncle Freezie. Salute to the chat, the panel.
Yeah, man. Bro, I love the interview, man. You know, I rewatched it like 7 times, bro. You no lie. And listen, hey chat, y'all gotta check out the King Ribby interview, right? It's I think it's for the, if you're a member of the channel, you'll be able to see it. It's out there for the members, right? But and not that I don't want to share it. It's just we got to give something special to the members, man. Right? But hey, you know the King Ribby, the pause was messing me up, right? like legit, you was like when you pause, you like have me on the edge of the seat. I'm like, you know what I'm saying?
Nah, because I'm like, yo, it's, oh my god, man. It's
because I thought you was gonna go in and then you step back and just thought about it. You just stepped back and just thought about it, man. And then I was like, yo, because I was wilding. I was like, yo, what he doing? And then I was like, and then so I showed it to somebody else. It was like, relax, bro. You ask that man that hard question. Get that man some time to think about it.
No, that's telling me to, not to cut you off. That's telling me to come in more prepared next time.
Nah, no. That's telling me that you was that your reaction was your natural reaction. Like you don't overreact. You know what I'm saying? That's what I was because when I was looking, I was like, yeah. Because like when I asked you the question, I thought you was gonna go like spray the block, and you was like, nah, I'm gonna just think about this thing, man. And I'm gonna just think about this thing, and then you know what I'm saying? Everybody don't do that. That's why I felt like it was dope, bro. I watched that thing like 7 to 8 times already.
Thank you. I appreciate
Yeah, man, that was dope. That was dope. When you be on, usually people be so ready to like, and I was like, you know what I'm saying? And the man, so yeah, so members, so for all the members out there, that joint is out there, man, for y'all. Yeah, man. Yeah, man, that joint is out there. So, but here's the thing. Here's the thing about the size thing. It's a lazy argument. It's lazy, right? It's lazy. Keith Turner says, "How is that false? I can't wait to hear this one." Yeah, yeah. It's lazy, bro. That's a lazy lazy retort, right? The thing about it is the thing about the size thing is we just make up excuses to fail, right? We make up excuses for failure, right? Here's the thing: the Knicks have played Boston twice. They've played Milwaukee. They've played Cleveland twice. They've played New Orleans, right? All these teams are playoff level teams, right? All these teams are playoff level teams. And in those games, except for one, which was the New Orleans game where we clearly came out there tired, right? We clearly came out the gate. You knew we was tired off rip. The New Orleans back to back, you knew we was tired off rip, right? Out of the we played Atlanta twice too. So we played Atlanta twice, Cleveland twice, Boston twice. We played the Clippers, the Spurs, Charlotte. You know what I'm saying? All these teams, right? All these teams with all this size, right? And the mere fact that we're 6-5 could be 7-4, maybe even 8-3 if RJ Barrett didn't miss so many games, puts me in the mindset that we don't need Kristaps Porzingis at power forward. We don't need Bo at center or power forward, right? We don't need Chet Holmgren. We don't need Lauri Markkanen at the 3, right? What we do need. Hey, look, King Ribby, look at people. Look at the chat. You see how the chat making up excuses? Look at Sherwin. Sherwin's like, Atlanta is small like us. Atlanta is not small like us. Stop it. Stop. They have one dude that might be undersized in Trae Young. Everybody else is tall. Stop. Some undersized. Stop playing. Stop playing yourself, Sherwin. Stop just making stop. Chat. Listen. If you want to be right about something, bring up another point, but don't just like falsify stuff, right? We out here talking about Atlanta is small. Really? Jalen Johnson is small. DeAndre Hunter is small for his position. Clint Capella is small for his position.
Yeah.
But Bogdanovich is small for his position. AJ Griffin is small for his position. Stop it, bro. Onyeka Okongwu, stop, bro. We wildin'.
Yeah, they all small. I ain't gonna front.
Yeah, come on, bro. What are we doing out here? We talking about if we are small at 6'4", what is Jalen Johnson at 6'9"? If we talking about we're small and we have the tallest center combo in the NBA.
That is a fact.
What NBA team is rolling out two athletic 7-foot centers? Teams don't do that. That's us. We ain't talking about Atlanta small, man. Stop, bro. Y'all got to come with some tighter argument. You gotta be tighter. If you're saying Trae Young is small, okay, then I'm with you. But to say DeJounte Murray is small, stop. Right? To say DeAndre Hunter is small at 6'8", stop it. Jalen Johnson small at 6'8", stop. Clint Capella small at 6'10", stop. Come on, man. What are we doing? We gotta relax. We gotta relax, man. These teams are not smaller than us. And our size on defense is not the issue. Our issue is that we have inconsistent scoring. David L, hear me on this. David L, hear me out on this. I'm gonna speak to somebody reasonable. David L. Yo, I'm trolling. So David L. This is for David L only, right? And I'm not trolling. I'm being real. David L. Do we not get on this format every day or most weekdays 2 or 3 times a day and complain about offense? Don't we sit up here every day, every time we get on, don't we complain that Quentin Grimes don't get enough shots? Don't we complain that Jalen Brunson don't pass? Don't we get up here and complain about Julius Randle is inefficient? Don't we get up here and complain all the time that Emmanuel Quickly need to be more consistent? Yet, and this is, think about this. I'm gonna take this down so I can look my people in the eyes. Y'all, listen. As the host of the show, I hear y'all complain about the offense 70% of the show. But then the fallback excuse is this team is too short on defense. Think about if you were hosting the show, right? And 400 or 500 people every day came in, right? And said, this team is too short. This team is too short, right? And then 75% of the show, we're complaining Brunson don't pass, Grimes don't get enough shots, Quickly is inconsistent, RJ Barrett may be turning the corner, Julius Randle is inefficient. And here's the kicker. The number one thing y'all complain about all the time, I wish Mitchell Robinson had offense. Yet, the reason for all of that is because we're too short on defense. Y'all hear how that makes zero sense? King Ribby, you hear how that makes zero sense in most people's mind?
Yeah, but it's just expectations.
Right. East Blue Juice says, I complain about Tibbs schemes. Yeah, that too. My thing is this: not to get on a pedestal or start a long filibuster, right? But how do Knicks fans complain about Jalen Brunson not passing, the Nova boys only passing to each other, Julius Randle's not inefficient? I wish Mitchell Robinson had some offense. We need to get Quentin Grimes more shots. We complain about all that stuff. And the reason why all that stuff don't work is, wait for it, we're too short on defense. Those two don't even go together.
Exactly.
right? Those two don't even go together. When we watch the games against Boston, the 2 games against Boston, right? We lost to Boston because our offense disappeared, not because our defense was bad. Our offense disappeared. We were struggling to get shots.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yo, as a matter of fact, against Atlanta, the reason why we beat Atlanta is not because we were too small on defense. It's because we kept finding offense from somewhere. We kept going on those 9-0. When Atlanta was about to put their foot on our throat, we would go on a 9-0 run. Not because 9-0 runs don't come from defense alone. It comes from offense. Because even though you got the O part, you also got the 9 part. Right? And I understand we want like some type of excuse for why we're not undefeated right now. Right? We want some type of excuse for the reason why we lost to New Orleans. Well, we lost to New Orleans because we were tired. That's the only game this season I felt like a team just imposed their will on us from the go. And we didn't respond. Every other team, the Boston game, first game of the season. Hey, y'all, listen, first game of the season, right? We lost to Boston 108-104, right? We lost to Boston 108-104, right? Here's the thing. Boston is averaging 119.4 points per game. King Ribby. Boston is averaging almost 120 points a game, and we held them to 108, and we complain about the defense? We held them 15 points under their season average. 15 points under their season average in Boston. On their court. On their court, we held them to 119, right? The second time we played them, I'm sorry, in the Garden. The first one was in the Garden. I'm sorry. I'm talking about game 2 now. Game 2, we went to Boston, right? And we held them to 5 points under their season average. We held them to 114. They beat us 114-98, right? 114-98. You know the reason why that is? Is because our defense is not short. Our defense is effective. What is not effective, though, is our offense. We got to get this offense kicked into gear. We just got to. We just have to. Right? And East Blue Drew says, yo, yeah, it's true, but we didn't win, so it don't matter. No, I know I'm pointing out the reason why we didn't win. We didn't win because our offense didn't show up. Right? Now are we saying that Jalen Brunson is not a good offensive player? No, we're not saying that. Are we saying that Randall is not a good offensive, a great all-around NBA player? No, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is, it's so look at what Sherwin says. Sherwin,
I just seen that.
Is 7, right, bro? That makes no sense that makes no sense about the argument what you're saying, because even if he's 6'7", he's still a 300-pound elite athlete. Size is size, bro. If you play basketball, you know that. If you know basketball, you know that. Size is size. The tallest players in the world don't often win a championship, bro. Size is size. You guys got to relax. Stop making up these whack excuses, bro. for my people in the chat, I just want some stronger chat. Yeah, I remember when we first started the channel and we was like, yo, we ain't gonna come in for soft landings. Every time we get together, we're gonna have legitimate hardcore arguments, and don't be sensitive to the way we talk to each other, because we're not being disrespectful to each other. We're just a strong-minded chat, right? The reason why I go back and forth with Paris Duggar is not because I dislike him. No, I love Paris Duggar, right? The reason why I always tell Keith Turner to speak his mind, the reason why I always question Sherwin is not because I don't like them, because I love those people and I love them coming in and chat, right? But I like strong-minded arguments here. The thing is, you can't say the Knicks are small because of defense, and then data supports the offense being inconsistent, and y'all still saying, well, it's because Josh Hart is not the prototypical 4.
He plays like one.
Yeah. Okay, I got you, sir. Hey, my bad. He said I said he's the only. Okay, I got you. All right, my bad. I'm wrong for that. My fault. I'm sorry about that, bro. My bad, man. My bad. So the thing is my thing to everybody is, once we get at least one more consistent offensive player, I think the sky's the limit. King Ribby, I think that consistent offensive player is RJ Barrett. Once we get consistent offense from RJ and quickly, right, as outside of what we get from Randall and Brunson, I think the sky's the limit for us.
I agree.
Once we get RJ Barrett's consistent offense, Emmanuel Quickly's consistent offense, along with the other things that they do on a consistent level, now you have 4 consistent offensive players, right? And now once you get that, I think the sky's the limit for this team, because like I showed you, the facts are here. Like I'm not just making this up. This is real stuff. This is real stuff right here, right? What you're looking at is real data, right? The Celtics are in top 5 in points and top 5 in defense, right? The Celtics are top 5. They're 5th in points and 4th in defense, right? And we almost beat them twice. Chat, Boston is top 5 in points and in defense, and we could have beat them twice. The second game got away from us because we ran out of gas, because it was a back-to-back, right? Don't forget that. When you look at the loss, don't look at the loss as they came in and outclassed us from the go, because they did. Boston beat us because we were coming off a back-to-back, and they were rested. Right? That's just as simple as it. In my mind, I ain't tripping. I ain't fussing, bro. King Ribby, I ain't fussing, but as a host, think about King Ribby when you co-host, right? When you come on the screen and co-host with me, right?
Yeah.
Think about all the stuff that you see people say in the chat.
Yeah, I'm reading the chat right now, and it's like keep turning. It's like, yo, oh my god, man, he just dislike RJ with his passion.
Yeah, think about all the stuff that you see in the chat, and then think about the data, right? Like legit, we up here saying Boston's a top 5 defense and offense, right? And they beat us 108-104 in the first game of the season. We held them 11 points under their season average, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then the second time we played them, we held them to 5 points under their season average, right? And then we are out here talking about, well, the defense is too small. We need more defense, right? But the reason why we lost is because our offense disappeared. JJ is in the building. JJ, what's good, man? JJ says, almost beat them once. Nah, JJ, nah. You can't go by the box score, bro. We were in a nip and tuck game with them. And then towards the end of the game, our offense just disappeared. It was nip and tuck. We were nip and tuck with them the whole time. And then our offense just went away because we were playing on the second half of a back-to-back, and they were not. That's just what it is. If you just go back and look at ESPN and look at the box score, it looks like they blew us out. They didn't. We were in that game for about 3.5 quarters, and then our legs just disappeared. We were just tired, bro. If Boston was coming in on a back-to-back and we were fresh, I believe we win that game. I believe we win that game. But they just pulled away from us down the stretch. And there was nothing we could do because we were just out of gas.
No time.
Yeah. So, yeah, Ribby, I'm not tripping over where the team is right now because 2 years ago, remember we kept beating Boston 2 years ago,
Exactly.
and then Ime Udoka had their team meeting, and then Boston got red hot and went all the way to the NBA Finals. Yeah, remember that? So I'm not tripping right now. I'm not tripping over 60 wins. That's my prediction, and I'm sticking to it. But what I really like is this team getting to the NBA Finals. Because if we win 60 games and lose in the second round, I'm not going to be pounding my chest saying, hey, we won 60 games. Nah, I ain't doing that, bro. The most important thing is championships. That's just what it is. That's just what it is. Yeah, man.
Not to cut you off, you think we're going to win tonight?
Yeah.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. I don't think this team is going to lose again until probably December. I think so here's the thing. We have Washington, Charlotte. I think we're going to win both, and those are back-to-back games, right? We're at Minnesota on Monday. I think we win that game. Then we have Miami in the Garden with 4 days off. I think we win that game. Then we have the Phoenix Suns that Sunday, right? I think we win that game. Then we have Charlotte again in the Garden. I think we win that game. I can't see us losing to Charlotte at all, right? Then we have Detroit in the Garden. I think we win that. Then we have Toronto, right? Then we have Toronto. I think we win that game. And then we have a break for the in-season tournament.
Okay.
So I don't know how the schedule is going to play itself out right there. But when we come back December 11th, I think we beat Toronto. I don't think Toronto is yeah, I think Toronto is feasting on an early season schedule. Then we have Utah at the Garden. I think we win that one. But December 15th at Phoenix. That's going to be scary. And then the very next day, we're at the Clippers. I think the Clippers might get us there.
Nah,
right there.
I don't think so.
Russell Westbrook going to the bench. James Harden is their new starting point guard.
Nah, I know that. I seen that.
Yeah. I think by the time we get to the Clippers again, I think they'll probably be done figured it out. But for us to go Utah, Phoenix, the Clippers, the Lakers, I think it's going to be I think we'll take a loss or two inside that four game stretch. And then we come home and we're at Brooklyn. So we have a home game, basically. And then around Christmas, we have Milwaukee and Milwaukee at the Garden. So I'm optimistically saying that I could see the Knicks go on a schedule run, just like we went on some schedule losses, right? Like Charlotte. I think tonight in Charlotte, I think Miles Bridges is returning in Charlotte tonight.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, yeah. So I think
Salute,
we get
Ron.
Washington tonight, and then I think we'll get Charlotte tomorrow.
What's going on, brother King Ribby? Appreciate you, brother. Good to see you.
It's good.
Yeah, I'm kind of with you on that, Freezie. I think the Knicks are going to go on a nice run.
Yeah. And the reason why I say, I don't know if you heard me go off on a tangent.
I was listening to everything. I heard you.
But my thing is salute to Paris Duggar. Paris Duggar is in the building. Nick Yak is in the building. What's good, y'all? I honestly think that and I'm not being, I don't want to be disrespectful to the Knicks fans, to our people, but I think we are so used to reaching for built-in excuses that I don't know if we appreciate what we're seeing at times. Because I feel like there's some Knicks PTSD that makes us not really embrace the moment. But because the other day somebody told me, yo, we're doing too much ISO ball. I'm like, bro, that was the argument from 2 years ago. What are you talking about? You gotta, you know what I'm saying? ISO, no, bro. If you're saying ISO ball right now, that means you have PTSD. Right? Like if you're saying, you know, stuff like Tom Thibodeau's offense is archaic. No, that was the argument from a year ago. Tom Thibodeau's offense is actually modern and nuanced. What we don't get is consistent shooting out of Tom Thibodeau's offense, right? If Josh Hart and DiVincenzo and Quickly were all consistent scorers most of the time, we wouldn't be having a Tom Thibodeau's offense is archaic conversation.
That's fair.
And how can we say Tom Thibodeau's offense is archaic when we saw Julius Randle struggle out the gate at the rim? The man was shooting what? The man was shooting 7% at the rim.
Yeah.
You can't be, bro, legit in real life, you can't be 6'8" and shoot 7% at the rim. I don't think this physics. I don't think physics will allow somebody 6'8" to be at the rim with their arm all the way. Bro, it's like you're only like 8 inches from the rim at that point. You know what I'm saying? I mean, come on. So yeah, man. Yeah, man.
Yeah, that's I see where you was going, Freezie. And I listen. I've been looking at the team as best I can to understand what's been going on. I've changed my stance on a couple things, but like I agree with you. I don't think the issue right now. Now, can it still be a deficiency down the line? Yes. And
Right.
if it becomes something that's like too much for the Knicks to handle, or it's insurmountable and they can't overcome it, then yeah, I think the Knicks need to make a move or really reassess what they got as far as a roster. But right now, I mean, how can you argue with the fact? I mean, Tibbs has been running these small lineups out there, and we're tops in defense. Whether
Right.
we're not, if we're not one, we're two. If we're not two, we're three, and that's it. We're
Right.
1, 2, or 3, and
Right.
so that's telling me a lot. And so I can't knock them, and I can't
Right.
knock the roster construction if it's working for what Tom Thibodeau wants to do. Even going back to the 3-point shooting, I've softened my stance on that, and it still is going to be an issue. It's going to come up, but I think Tom Thibodeau. I mean, we can all see it. Like in the past, we looked at it and said, you know what? Tom Thibodeau needs to do a better job of closing out on the defense and the perimeter and stopping these 3-point shots. Now I'm at the point where I can understand. I don't think Tom Thibodeau cares anymore. I think he wants you to take those 3-point shots because he's trying to solidify the interior defense. He's locking down the interior, and in the paint, it's a no-go when you're coming in there facing Mitch. And I think he's comfortable with that. But I'm okay with it too, because the Knicks are playing that type of defense and they're an excellent rebounding team. Now, when the Knicks didn't have all the pieces, right? When you're giving up the three and then the guy you're closing out on at the three just puts it on the floor and dribbles and gets an easy layup or easy mid-range, then it's not working.
Now we're tripping,
if he's shutting down that mid-range area for the most part and really locking down the paint, hey, yo, let it go. I hear you, Tibbs. Do what you got to do.
Right. And so what Knicks fans don't understand, and the majority, there are some Knicks fans that get it, right? But then there are others that see Jason Tatum shoot over the top of Josh Hart and make it. And what they see is a 6'9" guy shooting over the top of a 6'4" guy, right? But what they should be thinking is a top 7 offensive, a top 7 player in the NBA shooting over the top of a bench player. That's basically what happened, right? Am I wrong? Am I wrong in that?
Yeah.
Right. When you see Jaylen Brown, take Quentin Grimes to the rim and muscle him up at the rim, what you're watching is a top 20, top 25 NBA player take advantage of a young, developing NBA player. That's what you're actually seeing, right? It's not like Jaylen Brown is 8 foot tall with a 90-inch vertical. No, that's not it. Jaylen Brown is a veteran. Quentin Grimes was a young guy. That's what you're seeing, right? Some of these things that we see, I think we look at it through jaded lenses because a man told me this one time. King Ribby, an old man told me this one time, and it stunned me that he would say it. But he was like, "Hey, Uncle Freezie, you remember in school when the nerd would get his glasses knocked off and his lenses would break, and the first thing he would do is reach for the ground, not protect himself, not make sure he was safe. The first thing the nerd would do is through all these punches and bullying, he would reach to the ground to try to put his glasses back on. And when he put his glasses back on with all the cracks in it, his view was jaded, right? Because he'd be seeing all different types of. I think that's where the Knicks are. We've been knocked down so much that we put these jaded glasses back on, and we see certain things. We don't see things for what they are. We see things through these cracks and all these different things over the years, right? The thing is, we want to beat Boston so bad that the slightest little thing, we amplify it, right? The thing is, sure, do I want to beat Boston every time by 50? Yes. Do I understand they have a generational talent in Jason Tatum? Yes. Do we have a generational talent on our roster? No. Right? Do I want to be disrespectful to the Knicks? No. I love the Knicks. It's the reason why I'm here on a Friday. I'm off. Like, I'm off the clock, right? But I'm here on the internet talking about the Knicks because I love the Knicks. You know what I'm saying? So it's one of them things like I think we have to look at things for what they are and not for what we want them to be. And if we do that, I think we have a better understanding of where we are as an organization. Like the Knicks defense is, I think they're number one, but of course, analytics, depending on what site you go to and what type of calculation and tabulation and analytics will either have them 1, 2, or 3. I don't care. Top 3 is good. Top 3 out of 30 teams is great, right? And we're top 3 out of 30 teams with a fire ant defense, with a Wu-Tang Clan type defense, killer bee defense. Like you try to attack the hive, all the bees are coming out to try to, you know what I'm saying? We don't have a lion or a grizzly bear that's gonna shut down everything moving, right? We have fire ants. That's what we got. Is it effective? Yes, because we're right now through 11 games, even with RJ being injured, with Grimes being injured, um, even with all that, even with trying to incorporate DiVincenzo, we're still top 3.
That's
I
good.
think it's
It's
something to be
tackling.
said to that.
That's true. I mean, I think you're hitting it. I think it's like it goes back to Knick fans, us all being patient and understanding. There's a lot going on in this season. A lot has happened that has impeded us seeing what the Knicks can look like on a consistent everyday basis.
Right.
Started off with Julius Randle being more hurt than he let on, or at least not being 100%
Right.
out the gate, where he kind of led us to believe he was, which he wasn't. Then the slow start offensively with him trying to find his offensive game and building back his confidence, because that happens to every player. I don't know how good you are. When
That's
you
a fact.
struggle, you're going to go through some confidence drought, and then it has to, come back. So
Right.
he's back. He's there. RJ coming out the gate and really being consistent and showing us the best RJ we've seen thus far. But then, of course, what happens? He tweaks his knee. He has to go out because of that. Now he's got migraines. He has to go out because of this. There's been something impeding us all working together here. Jalen Brunson, even though he's had some really nice games and he's had some stinkers, he still hasn't looked like consistent. My shot, I can get to my spaces, do all this stuff. Jalen Brunson yet. I think he's there. Like he's right there. It's coming along. He's not quite there yet. So that is happening. And then we still haven't seen the emergence of Quentin Grimes like we thought we might see to start this season. It's been taking a while for him to find out where he needs to be offensively on this team and being more aggressive. So that's happening. We've got some positives with Mitch really coming into his own and affecting the game. So that's been fantastic. You got Josh Hart not being consistent offensively at all for us, but in the last couple games, he's starting to show a little bit more offensive prowess. He's starting to be a little bit more aggressive, and we need that because somebody's got to make up for RJ not being out there. And then DiVincenzo, he's still in that off and on mode, but you see every game he gives it his all, but it's coming along. Like it's
Right.
getting there. He's still getting more comfortable because to this point, DiVincenzo's numbers are still don't compare to any numbers he's shown at any other stop. So this is still not the real DiVincenzo yet. It's still coming along. And outside of all of that, right? The Knicks have played more basketball games consecutively than any other team in the NBA. Like all of our back-to-backs that have happening, all the games we played in shortened amount of and they've been playing in every single. This is the one thing that I keep harping on that people keep missing. Outside of the New Orleans Pelicans game, the Knicks have had a chance to win every single game within the last 2 to 3 minutes of those games. So I don't know. Once they can calm down and everything can get right, Julius is there. Brunson's still getting there. RJ needs to just stay healthy. And this other stuff can continue to happen. The Knicks are going to be a problem. I'm telling y'all, we're just not there yet. We just need to get the consistency. We need our players together.
Right.
We're getting there.
We're getting there. We're getting there. The scheme, the offensive and defensive schemes Tibbs came up with over the summer, both are working in my mind. Right. And
Before to cut you off, I can't not say this, Freezie. I gotta give the Knicks kudos for the ball movement. This is the most ball movement I've ever seen a Knicks team do for consecutive games. You know what I mean? They're moving the ball.
Right. And I think the consternation. Right, like you know how Ryan, you know this. You host a show. You have a Bussin' YouTube channel, right? So here's the thing: Knicks fans have a fallback excuse every time for offense, and you know what it is, right? Man, we ISO too much. No, we don't. Man, what are y'all talking about? And then they would and then when you call them on, we ISO too much. They'd be like, well, Tibbs' offense is outdated. No. Tibbs' offense is not. We run the same offense. We run the same similar. We run offensive sets that the Phoenix Suns run and the Chicago Bulls run, right? We run the similar plays to the Boston Celtics, right? At times, right? But Tibbs don't want to do that often because the Boston Celtics would like to slow it down and use their skill players to pick you apart, as opposed to other teams that run the same thing and they want to get out and run against unbalanced defenses, right?
Mm-hmm.
Boston don't have to do that because they have Drew Holiday, Derek White, Jaylen Brown, Porzingis, and Tatum on the floor at any given time. So they don't have your defense. I don't care if you have the number one defense, right? It don't matter if you have the number one defense. When you have Tatum, Brown, Porzingis, Drew Holiday, you can go up against any defense, right? And the Knicks still held them under their season average, by the way, right? Even with all those weapons and weapons coming in off the bench, the Knicks still held them under their season average. But the thing is that we don't see is that we have open shots and we don't knock them down.
I agree.
I mean, think about this. What if RJ Barrett wasn't shooting 50% from three? What if RJ Barrett wasn't having a career year? Where would we be at offensively?
Oof.
Because we all know that Brunson and Randall both struggled out of the gate from the floor, right? Brunson's 3-point shooting right now is magnifique. I ain't even gonna lie. And right now, I don't know what he's shooting from three right now, but it seems like he's at about
43%.
43%. Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Right, he's about 43%. But man, come on, bro. 43% from a dude that didn't used to shoot him at all, bruh. And if we can get Quickly and Grimes to their natural progression on threes, because after the All-Star break last year, through the end of the season, Quentin Grimes shot 41% from three. If we can get Grimes back to that, if we can get Quickly to that 38% from three thing, bruh. Yeah. I think we'll be in high cotton. Yeah. I think yeah, yo, if we can get to that, we could legit be buying Fruity Loopies from the bodega. No doubt. No doubt.
And I apologize, guys. He was 43% coming into the last game. Now he's 45.7. Jalen, making it happen, baby.
Bro, I'm saying, bro. And with confidence too, by the way. Because if you saw that Atlanta game, he came down in transition and pulled up and DeAndre Hunter face. Now, mind you, Jalen Brunson is listed at what, 6'1", 6'2"?
6'2".
And DeAndre Hunter is 6'8". And did the pull up in his face in transition? Bro, you got to have a set. You got to have a pair, bro.
It's hard.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So if we could get more of that, more consistent offensively, then I think the sky's the limit for us. So,
can I just say something real quick, Freezie?
Yeah.
Shout out to Paris Duggar. I see that he said he disagrees about DiVincenzo and the numbers. The stage is different. He's good, but he's not going to be consistent here. Maybe until March or next year. Yeah. I mean, I don't disagree with that. I think, like I said, all I did was I took a look at DiVincenzo's history, and no matter where he's been, his numbers have been better than he's shown so far with the Knicks. And I don't think that's on DiVincenzo like losing anything. It's just him fitting into what this offense is, his role on the team, and how the ball is moving. And it kind of goes back to the team knowing who he is, what he likes, what works for him, and him vice versa, knowing how the rest of the guys on the team need the ball, where their spots are, all that stuff. And that takes time. Once again, going back to, we're not even at the 10-game mark yet. Like, so it's 82 game season. It takes time to develop this stuff. And you know, this team is no different from any other team that needs to gel, even though there's been consistency and continuity because of a lot of the players that play together. Remember, we're talking about DiVincenzo, the one guy who hasn't been here.
Right.
So it's gonna take some time.
Yeah. And then too, it's not just DiVincenzo. remember, Tom Thibodeau has scrapped an offense, right, from last year, right? And he didn't scrap a defense, but he scrapped a lot of stuff from that defense, right? So as opposed to Mitchell Robinson being the eraser at the rim, Tom Thibodeau is using a fire ant deterrent defense, right? So what it is excuse me, I'm sorry, y'all. Instead of Tom Thibodeau defense allowing teams to get up shots and then contesting those shots, what we're doing is contesting everything on the floor so teams take less shots, right? And then have them take less shots and then go clean up shots on the defensive boards, right? Limit possessions is basically limit shots, limit possessions. That's what we're doing, as opposed to a team taking 100 shots and Mitch leading the NBA with 5 blocks a game.
Right, and also forcing the teams to take low percentage shots.
That also. Now, you know, when you see Jason Tatum pull up over Josh Hart, it don't matter if Jason Tatum was pulling up over Trey Murphy, right? It's still an advantage to Boston and Jason Tatum, right? So it don't matter if Jason Tatum was pulling up over Herb Jones. It don't matter, right? Because it's still Jason Tatum. We gotta relax on that. Jason Tatum might be one of the greatest Boston Celtics to ever play the game, right? We don't think like that just because we're watching it in real time, right? But if you think about context, that's basically what it is. Paris Duggar had a super chat. I'm sorry, man. Paris Duggar, thank you for the generous contribution, bro. He says, what do you need to see from Randall when facing a real guy like Miles Bridges? What do you expect when he's facing a guy who will come for him again? What do I expect? I expect Julius Randle to rise to the challenge.
Facts.
That's what I think. When have you ever seen Julius Randle back down from a challenge? Ever? As a Knick, when have you seen Julius Randle ever tuck his tail? Now, our thing is, our moment for pause with Randle is he takes these things too personally sometimes. Like he'll go over the edge and have a meltdown. That's what we're used to seeing from Randle. But if you remember Cam Johnson pushing Randle in the back in Phoenix and Randle wanting to punch him in his throat and Randle got kicked out the game and the Knicks lost because Alec Burks missed free throws, Knicks fans said the reason why we lost that game is because Julius Randle got kicked out of the game. No, Julius Randle got kicked out in the third quarter. Julius Randle got kicked out in the third quarter. What about the other 10 Knicks that played? These are the type things that we blame, that we put Randle in these weird situations for, man. Randle is our 2-time All-Star, 2-time All-NBA most improved player under these 2 contracts that he got with the Knicks. And you've seen the Knicks sign other guys drafted in the lottery, right? You've seen the Knicks sign guys, other guys drafted in Dante DiVincenzo was drafted in the first round. How's he look as a free agent? Josh Hart was drafted in the first round. How does he look as a free agent? Hartenstein, it is all this talent. How does Hartenstein look? Right? All these guys, man, that we I think we blame Randle for a lot, or not blame, but we pin a lot of stuff on Randle. But we have to forget Randle came here and thrived. Randle came here and thrived. And is he exactly what we wanted? Probably not. Is he somewhat what we needed? Yes. Because with Randle, we're a playoff quality team. Without Randle, we were rolling out Noah Vonleh and Enes Kanter. Karen Fung is in the building. Okay. Joe White is in the building. So what are y'all thinking about tonight? How do y'all feel about this Wizards game?
I feel confident. I feel we're gonna win, to be honest. Yeah, we're gonna win. Even if RJ and Grimes don't play, we still gonna win. I'm confident with that. The Wizards is trash, to be honest, in my opinion.
They trash. They're trash, bro. They're trash.
I don't know.
We gonna have a pool party? Like the hell no, man. Yo. Oh my God.
I don't know. I don't know, man.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. Like, no, I mean, should the Knicks win tonight? Yes, without question. Not a doubt in my mind. But if the Knicks don't take it serious, it could get a little crazy out there. I'm just saying. Kyle Kuzma loves playing against the Knicks. And if you remember the first game when we played him, Kuzma wasn't there. Secondly, Jordan Poole lit us up, and Jordan Poole has sucked ever since that game. No, actually, he had one more good game, and he has not been the same. He's been trash ever since.
He's been
But
trash.
that doesn't mean he won't be good tonight. So you got to be very careful. Like anything can happen, and when everything's going wrong, and the spotlight is on that team for being highly dysfunctional, and for this dude and his clown antics, you just don't know what you're gonna get, and he knows that this is a game against New York, and it's kind of like a spotlight game because it's New York. So I wouldn't be surprised if he comes out and puts a good game out there tonight. I still think the Knicks should beat them without question. I don't think they have enough over there. They play no defense, and they still. Oh no, that's not them. Charlotte. My bad. I was about to coin them with another thing. Like it's like whoever you got. There was a fantasy thing going around all last year, and it's going around this year still. If you have a rebounder and you need rebounds, pick them against the Charlotte Hornets because everybody rebounds against the Hornets. But yeah, no, probably against the Warriors too. I'm not sure. I mean, the Wizards too. So we'll see what happens, man. But I definitely think the Knicks are going to win tonight. I think they need to do exactly what I do like about this Knicks team so far early, and it goes back to having guys like Brunson and Josh Hart on the team, and now DiVincenzo. See, this is where these guys factor to me. They play solid, sound basketball and don't try to give the other team chances to either close on the Knick lead or develop a big lead on their end. And that is what allows you to be able to consistently blow out a team. That allows you to play a San Antonio Spurs team and never have to worry about it not being a blowout. Even when San Antonio makes its run, at the end of the game, you're still up by 17. Like that's big to me. That's the difference.
Right. That's what I was going to say. I think the Knicks are going to go up by 30 on this team. But the final score is going to be, I think the final score is going to be like 128 to 109. Right. So it'll look like a blowout, but it won't look like an atrocity. Right. Like I think the game is going to be an atrocity, but once Tibbs takes guys out, once we see Miles McBride and Jericho Sims, then I think they're going to chip into the lead. But I think this is going to be and we're fresh also. Yeah. I think we're going to pour all of our energy into the front end of this back-to-back. You know what I'm saying? Get our guys off the floor, knowing that we play Charlotte tomorrow.
Yeah, I was just going to say, we might come out and try to blow them out early. Really take it to them so that we can start resting players for tomorrow's game. I agree with you.
Right, because in reality, we'll have 3 games in 4 days. Right.
Nick's schedule has been crazy, Freezie.
Right. Yeah. So, but my thing is though, who's going to guard Jordan Poole? I think if any team in the NBA is equipped to guard Jordan Poole, I think it's the Knicks. Right. I think you'll see I don't think Grimes is going to play tonight. I think Grimes is out. Ron, have you heard any update on Grimes?
Only I haven't heard anything and I haven't seen anything with a new injury report. The only thing I did hear was based on firsthand sound knowledge from our guy Jay Boogie,
yeah,
who said he was at the game and he heard Quentin Grimes like screaming, not like screaming but yelling. He was in pain. So I don't know. I
was watching the Atlanta broadcast of that, and Quentin Grimes. Man, listen, I'm not trying to scare anybody into anything, but if you ever hurt yourself, like hurt one of your limbs, you know how you draw up in a knot, you kind of have like that hunch in your back. Like for anybody that has ever broken a wrist or broken a thumb, if you ever broke a thumb, bro, bro, it's like these involuntary tears are coming out your eyes. Like you trying not to cry, but your eyes are watering. Like you crying and your eyes are watering at the same time, which is weird, right?
Mm.
But it's like if you ever had a severely sprained ankle?
Not severely, pretty bad, but not severely.
Bro, I sprained
Oh,
my
oh, oh,
ankle.
oh. You know what I can equate it to? I dislocated my shoulder.
Oh,
tell you.
oh,
man.
bro, oh my, bro. No lie, no lie. So I used to box, right? And this dude hit me with a cheap shot and broke my orbital bone, right? This one, he broke my orbital bone, right? He like all of this right here was broken. You could see like it was puffy, but you could see like something sticking out of my face like that. It was my like a orbital like part. It was broken, sticking out, right? Because he broke it on a cheap shot, bro. My eye was watering so, and I want to take them gloves off and strangle them, right? But anyway, you know they disqualified him. I won and all of that stuff. But I had 6 months of I had to go in with the surgeon. He had to, do all the, you know how they place your bone back. You got to go through all the healing and all that stuff. And so, bro, when he hit me, bro, it felt like a nuclear weapon was dropped on top of my head, bro. You know what I'm saying? And that's what Grimes looked like when he got hurt. Like he had to hunch his back, like he was doubled over, and he was screaming, and he was behind the stench. And I was like, "Oh my god, that young fella hurt bad, bro. He hurt bad." Like as soon as it happened, I was like, "Oh no." I was like, "Oh no, man." You know what I'm saying? Because you be pulling for the guy. You know what I'm saying? Because in theory, I know people have their own favorite players. Like my two favorite young players are RJ and Quickly, right? And they've been from day one. One is because I liked RJ early, and the other is because living in South Carolina, I got to go see Emmanuel Quickly at Kentucky on my birthday, right? I got to see Quickly at Kentucky on my birthday, the game where they were losing to the Gamecocks, and Quickly put Kentucky on his back, and Calipari cussed him out like a dog. And I know I tell the story all the time, but Calipari cussed him out so bad that Calipari needed oxygen. Calipari cussed out Quickly so bad. He was like legit with a he's cussing out Kentucky so bad, bro. That man need oxygen, bro. He sat down and had something you squeeze, you know what I'm saying? That's how mad Calipari was, right? And so I've been a Quickly fan since then, and the mere fact that we drafted him was just like sent everything over the top, right? It would have been as if the Knicks would have drafted Ben Mathurin, or if the Knicks would have drafted Trey Murphy. You know what I'm saying? It would have been that type feeling, right? So with these young fellas, you see them going through their early struggles, trying to establish themselves as quality NBA players, and everything doesn't necessarily go right all the time, and they face their own challenges, right? But at the same time, when they start to turn that corner and do stuff good, you like a proud papa. You know what I'm saying? So when you saw the Atlanta game where Grimes was putting the ball on the floor and being assertive and aggressive, you're like, yeah, that's the Grimes we've been wanting to see. And then he get hurt, and you're like, oh man. As soon as Grimes start to turn the corner, he get hurt. As soon as RJ starts to turn the corner, he get hurt.
Happening. It's kind of that thing, what they say about drinkers. If you're drinking beer or whatever, once you they say once you break the seal, when you go to the bathroom that first time, you're going all night now.
Yeah.
It's like once RJ got hurt last year, now he gonna get hurt. Like he was straight all up until that point.
Yep. It's what it is. It's what it is. But to the Jordan Poole point, though, I think if any team is equipped to handle a Jordan Poole, I think it's us. Because people don't realize this. I don't know why they don't. But Dante DiVincenzo is an excellent defender, bro. Excellent. He's an excellent defender. Now, does he do everything else right? You kind of wish his 3-point shot was more consistent. You know, you wish his passing and handles were tighter. But he is who he is. He's a defense guy, right? Put him on Poole. I'm okay with him defending Poole. I'm okay with Josh Hart defending Poole at times. Not a lot, because Josh Hart's not a good defender. He's an energy guy masquerading as a defender, right? Emmanuel Quickly is an excellent defender, right? So, I mean, I feel like Deuce McBride, I'm okay with Deuce McBride guarding Jordan Poole, right? My thing is, though, what are they going to provide offensively? All those dudes I mentioned, DiVincenzo, Quickly, Deuce, Josh Hart, are they going to be able to defend and provide quality offense? That's going to be our issue. Because the Wizards are a big team, bro. The Wizards are a big team. They have Bilal Coulibaly. He's 6'6", a 6'6" shooting guard. They have Corey Kispert, who's not really a defender, but he's a shooter, right? Denny Avdija, 6'9" wing defender, right? Kyle Kuzma, for all his shenanigans, is a 6'9", 6'10", 6'9", whatever.
I think he's 6'9", 6'10", around there.
Yeah, power forward. And Daniel Gafford, who's 6'10", he's not the tallest center in the league, but he plays big.
Oh, forgot about Gafford. Yeah, Gafford will affect the game with his blocking. Like, the dude he's got what Mitch can't really get right now, but Mitch doesn't need it. Like I said, this is not a knock on Mitch. Mitch affects shots just like if he's blocking your shot, because when you come in there, you're not getting a clean look, and you're worried about Mitch. It's just Gafford just has a good sense of finding the ball. He gets the actual block. That's the difference,
right?
But I would still take Mitch defensively over Gafford, if that makes sense.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
Paris Duggar, thank you for the generous contribution. Paris Duggar says, "Feel bad for the blind. Kuzma, Miles, and Nas Reed equals some Julius Randle." Okay. All right. Yeah. I'm honestly not saying I'm overlooking Charlotte and Washington, because I think the Hornets game is a trap game. I think that's a trap game. So I'm not overlooking. I'm overlooking them, but I'm aware that we could lose to any or both of these teams. Mm-hmm. The Wizards tonight and Charlotte tomorrow. We can't take any teams lightly, but I am looking forward to the Minnesota game, because and I know it's going to sound crazy, but I think the Minnesota Timberwolves are a championship contender. I know it sounds wow, OD, and all of that stuff, but they have the ingredients to win it, or not to win it, but they have the ingredients to knock off a Phoenix Suns or a Denver Nuggets, in my opinion. So I think Minnesota is a measuring stick game.
And not to cut you off, to be honest, I think Charlotte is too, because they got Bridges coming tomorrow.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, listen, the only thing that I can say with regards to Charlotte and Bridges is that Bridges hasn't played.
Nah, yeah, that's a
NBA.
fact. Yeah.
So we're not going to get. I would be shocked if we get the best Bridges. Like, you know what I mean? So I wouldn't go too crazy, be worried about him. I know he plays he's had a lot of good games against the Knicks. He's had a couple bad games against the Knicks too, but for the most part, he's played the Knicks with really well with his athleticism. We haven't had an answer for him. But going back to what Freezie's been talking about, this Knicks team is different, right? And while we don't have the length that other teams have, we've got some good, players in regards to moving around on the court that get to the spots to make it really difficult for you. The help defense that we've been looking for, that hasn't really been consistent, seems to be consistent now with the DiVincenzos, the Harts, the Quickleys, and the Grimeses. But of course, we're not going to have Grimes. I think that we got enough, though, that and RJ's been stepping up. RJ's been playing really well defensively. So with all of that combined, if RJ is available tomorrow or not, we'll see. But I think the Knicks will be fine dealing with Bridges as well, or whoever else Charlotte has out there to throw at us. It's going to be like a little bit more difficult because we see even the last time we played Charlotte, as great of defensive effort as we showed against them, there was one guy we couldn't stop all night, and that was LaMelo Ball. He
LaMelo.
went to wherever he wanted to go. So we just got to watch that.
And Brandon Miller too. Brandon Miller was cooking us.
Oh
before
yeah,
he got
and
injured.
listen, Freezie, if Brandon Miller didn't get hurt, it might have been a long night. We still could have won, but the game could have been close.
But he would have went through his rookie up and down thing. He probably would have scored like 25, 27. But rookies generally don't explode for 50-point games like that.
Right. Not that wild.
yeah. So he probably would have did his thing, and then we'd have figured out a way to cool him down because of experience. But yeah, man. I'm in a tough spot, man, where I feel like the Knicks can win any or all of those games. Yeah, I know I'd be wild OD with the takes, right? Like I told Queen Bee one time, I think the Knicks could win 67 games. And then I dialed it back to 60. You know what I'm saying? You see how wild OD I can get with the take sometimes? So yeah. But I today is the 17th, right? I think the Knicks could in theory, if they're healthy, right? If RJ and Grimes come back, I think the Knicks could win out the rest of the month. Right. And I know that sounds crazy and wild, but if you're talking about Washington, Charlotte, Minnesota will be a test. Miami will be a test at home. Phoenix, I think Phoenix is still figuring it out, right? But if you get past Minnesota, Miami, Phoenix, then you have Charlotte, Detroit, Toronto. I think we could do something.
I'm with you like 95% of the way. I don't know about that Phoenix game. That Phoenix game worries me because last time I checked, Booker was back, Beal was back, and KD was out there. I think by the time we get to play Phoenix, I think by that time they'll be gelling a little bit. So, right. But other than that, I'm with you. I think they could beat the Heat. I think they could knock off Minnesota. Although I will say Minnesota's kind of scary because Minnesota has all of the pieces to be a really good team.
Yeah.
Cat hasn't been playing well up until recently. Now Cat's all of a sudden Cat's balling. So you got to watch that. Cat's been playing good. And if like they just need certain things to happen for that team. Like that young fella, I like his passion, but Jaden McDaniels got to keep his head in the game.
Right.
If he keeps his head in the game and stays out there on the floor,
right.
Yeah, they're tough. They can have
bro.
Yeah.
He got the edge to him. He
does. He just got to kind of control it a little bit because he's a more valuable to them when he's out there playing and showing that energy and that edge than getting himself caught up in these ejections for no reason. So
yeah. And he can guard 1 through 5. He can legit against us, he can guard 1 through 5. Right? Because Mitch is not gonna provide enough offense where even if he guards Mitch is not a threat to him. Hartenstein is not a threat to him offensively, so he can guard 1 through 5 against us. And
it's almost like the Knicks got to say, Freezie, when they play them, who's Jaden McDaniels guarding? Because whoever he's guarding, the rest of us got to step up.
Right. Yeah.
He's that good.
I think Anthony Edwards is a generational talent.
Yeah.
I think if you have an elite defense and a generational talent, 2 of them really, Cat is a generational talent in the fact that you generally don't see guys like him, but he doesn't have a generational impact, right? If you're talking, he has a generational skill set, but he don't have a generational impact, right? And I know that seems weird, but look at the opposite. Like Jimmy Butler doesn't have generational talent, but he has generational impact, right? Like you could put Jimmy Butler with a bunch of dudes like Duncan Robinson and Gabe Vincent and Kevin Love and a washed up Kyle Lowry and Bam Adebayo, and Jimmy Butler will get that team to the finals, right? But Jimmy Butler is not 6'9". He doesn't have a 50-inch vertical. He's not blazing fast. He don't shoot 50% from three. He's just impactful in that sense.
Mm-hmm.
So,
and I agree with you on Anthony Edwards being a generational talent. I don't think it's undeniable. I think the one thing I will say about Anthony Edwards, which always held me back from saying he's ready for the next level, is his consistency. Talk about our players like RJ and stuff like that. Anthony Edwards has struggled with consistency issues since he's been in the league. However, this year is the best I've seen Anthony Edwards with regards to consistency. So he's averaging 26 points per game, which is the most he's ever averaged. It's not even about that number. It's about the fact that game in and game out, I used to watch Anthony Edwards. I get into my FanDuel and my fantasy sports and all this stuff. And having him on my team, he'd go out there and score 28 points, then give you 10, then give you 17, then give you 30 points maybe, then give you 12. One game he gave me 7. I was like, what?
yeah.
So like that's the type of stuff that you watch with him. But like right now, this last game against Phoenix, he had 13. It's okay. Everybody can have a stinker here and there. But if you look at the games prior to that, 20, 33, 28, 26, 38, 31, 24, 31, like that is kind of showing you he's getting ready to go to that,
to break out.
Scoring's coming easier for him, and he's finding his spots. He's getting it's almost that thing we've always said about. This is the thing about Knick players. We've got, except for Brunson. I think Brunson has it, but like even Julius, he doesn't have it this year. He's had it every other year. Like having a place on the court where you like to score from, like your go-to move or a spot where this is where I'm going to get into my shot. This is where I lean on. I don't know if a lot of Knick players have that. Brunson can kind of do it from different places. RJ might be developing it this year. He might start to be, having it. But that's tough. And that's what also separates the regular players from the superstar players that have, those go-to moves that you just know, hey, if he gets into that, it might be lights out. So I think he's getting that.
I think Randall is on his way to establishing that you just mentioned. Establishing the aforementioned.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Part of that has got to do with Tibbs and a new offense and Randall coming back from injury. So once both those things gel, once they get in pocket, right? Once they get in pocket, I think we'll see the changes there, bro. Yeah, man. What are y'all thinking? What are y'all thinking about this team long term? Is this a 50-win team?
What you think, King Ribby?
I think probably. Nah, I don't think so. I'm not gonna be. No. Yeah, I think so. Probably like 52, 53.
That's way over 50.
Wow,
okay.
You went from I don't think so to 52, 53. I mean, that's you sure?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
If everything is like, if everybody plays right and things like that, everybody healthy, yeah, I feel that way.
Okay.
Yeah. I think I don't know about 53. I think I had them at winning 53 out the gate. I still think they're a 50-win team because you know what? I still think that at some point it's all going to even out. I think people as fans, we just go on game by game, but really look, this Knicks schedule has been so tough out the gate, playing so many games in a short amount of time, all these back-to-backs. In the next 2 weeks, I think we got another 2 back-to-backs. Like one tomorrow, you know what I mean? And then another one in the next week or so. That's a lot of back-to-backs for any basketball team. So I think we're getting all of this front-loaded.
Exactly.
And then as that calms down for us, it's going to start to affect the other teams that we may face. And that's when the Knicks are going to eat. And so I'm thinking we still going to be good.
Exactly.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, that's the thing, man. That's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm banking my analysis on, right? that just tread water, get through these injuries. You know what I'm saying? Get through this weird schedule, get past the in season tournament stuff. And when other teams are going to be dealing with the same stuff that we dealt with at the beginning of the season, we're going to start catching the Boston Celtics without Jason Tatum. We're going to start catching Milwaukee without Giannis. You know what I'm saying? We're just going to start catching Denver without Jokic. You know what I'm saying? And then you'll see us, pile up wins and everything else.
Oh, by
Yeah.
the way, just you brought that up. Tonight's also a must win because this is an in-season tournament game,
In-season
and the Knicks
tournament
need
game.
to show that they at least playing.
Right. Yeah, man. Yeah. I don't think this Wizards team has enough for us. If we lose to the Wizards tonight, bro.
We trash.
Yeah, if we
Play
lose,
like that.
yeah, because if we lose to the Wizards tonight, losing to Charlotte tomorrow is not off the table. Because even though Charlotte is a bad team, it's still a back-to-back game. Right? Because if we lose to the Wizards, it's gonna be all hands on deck to beat the Wizards if the Wizards are winning late in the game. Tibbs ain't gonna concede a loss to save them for Charlotte. He gonna go all hands on deck. And if we go all hands on deck against the Wizards and losing to Charlotte is not off the table. And then, like I mentioned in that Minnesota team, I think that Minnesota team is right now easily a top 10 team in the NBA right now with the arrow pointing up. So we could legit be looking at maybe 3 losses in a row with Miami coming to us in the Garden and then Phoenix after that.
That's
So
why it's really important to win these next two.
yeah,
It also
man.
builds up that momentum going into the Miami game.
Yeah.
Continuing to build on that confidence that the team is working towards, that chemistry that they're developing. And also, I think it's really important too, because I started to get a little worried. I can't even believe I'm saying this after everything we've witnessed this past year going into this year. It was the whole, can the Knicks win without RJ? Like, but thankfully we were able to get it done.
Yeah. If RJ doesn't play tonight, bro, my alarm bells are gonna be going off. Yeah, because if RJ don't play tonight, I think it's beyond migraines. I
Yeah.
think it's that knee, and the Knicks don't want to say anything.
I think he
Oh
should
yeah, I
be
forgot
good to
about
go,
that.
Freezy. He should be good to go because the fact that if he's dealing with migraines, the fact that he even came out to be on the court in that loud ass arena with them lights and everything, yeah, I think he's all right. I think he should play.
Yeah, I think the migraine thing was a lie. I think it was a lie because I had a migraine headache one time in my life, bro, and I don't ever want to experience that ever again, bro. I had a migraine. It was so bad, bro, that my roommate touched my bed. You know how something you touch something and a vibration, though. That teeny vibration almost sent me to outer space, bro. Outer space. BT, what's good, bro?
Good afternoon, gentlemen. How y'all doing?
I'm
Chilling,
Chilling.
hungry.
what's
What's
good?
happening?
Man, I'm good. I'm always happy to talk about our Knicks. But to be honest with you, I don't want this to be a trap game. I feel that Jordan Poole, like y'all guys were saying, he's just gonna do something crazy like he did in the preseason. But I think this game needs to be played with our third team. We give them the most minutes. Let RJ rest for tonight, and then tomorrow bring RJ off the bench to see how he's playing because he got that next day off. That way he can at least see if he could play or what he's like for the next game or so if he's ready to play tonight. We also got to keep we got to keep Hartenstein active as well. I think that they're gonna try to run Sims and McBride in more now, but we got to keep those guys activated. Try to pull Brunson and Randall out by like the mid third quarter, around that
Yeah,
time.
I was thinking so too.
Yeah, like I mean, like don't play Randall the whole first quarter. Let Randall play like 7 minutes, but try to keep the second team active. But what you want to do is mid game get Sims and McBride active, just in case if they're not working out, you don't use them at the end to where we get trapped into them biting into the lead.
Are you talking about today's game?
Yeah, because I think
No,
Washington.
I think this game is gonna be we're gonna blow them out. To be honest.
Nah,
Yeah.
I think that we're gonna get comfortable. Okay, the last two games there was a period where we got comfortable to where they started chomping into the lead. So for me, it's like I'm not saying that we can't beat them. We should beat them, but it's just like sometimes you just have a guy who you're
Nah,
playing
of course.
against, and they can just take advantage of you. And you're like, yo, I just didn't have it today. I don't want that to be the loss. I have a feeling that can happen because of Poole, because of Kuzma, and I forget the guy's name, Arvijita. Oh man, what's his name? That
Danny
tall cat.
Evadita or whatever.
Yes, Avedito. Like I'm
Adija.
just saying, like I don't know like how he's been playing, but I've been watching some of the games just to see how he is, and he can shoot. So the same way Johnson gave us problems, I think that we got to worry about that, especially if RJ isn't playing tonight.
Hmm.
Keep up the passing with Randall. Randall has to. I expect 5 assists tonight. Brunson, I expect 2 to 3. I expect everyone to be at least having 1 assist, like everyone sharing the ball. Kind of like try new plays, try to get people more incorporated. That's what I mean by switching it up with your plays. Because these double screens, I'm gonna keep saying it every game I see it. The double screens at the top of the key when Brunson has the ball, and it's Randall and Mitchell up there. The defense, look at how the defense sets up for the rebounds. Because the second that they see Mitchell cutting to the basket, what do? They let him go, and then they have someone backing him out to try to push him in, and then they have two guys on his side posting up ready to lock him out. That's why he's battling 2, 3 guys and tipping the ball more as opposed to just grabbing it like he was last year. They're starting to box him out based off of the pick and rolls. The only person he should be setting rolls for is Randall. He should not be doing it when Brunson has the ball. Stuff like that, like start working out other different types of play and see if they work. Because if we could do that, I think we got an advantage.
Okay.
Mm.
Interesting.
Yeah, I'm just gonna say we haven't talked about it or brought it up, but this might be one of those nights that I'm upset at Tibbs. Because I think he's gonna do what a lot of people think he's gonna do. It's gonna piss me off because we're gonna have another night where we might have no Quentin Grimes. Well, most likely we won't, and might not have RJ. Although RJ might play, but we might not have him. They might rest him tonight and just use him tomorrow because it's a back-to-back. And why not give him one more day of rest? You know what I mean? And with that being said, you still got a $18 million man on the bench that could
Right.
play against a 2-9 Wizards team who's trotting out there, Corey
Tyus Jones as they
Kispert.
starter. Yeah, they out
And
there.
how you think Evan Fournier is going to look at Corey Kispert? Like, this is just a little taller version of me out there. You telling me
Right.
I can't be out here against this dude?
Right.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
It'd be
I,
funny though if he just let him score. Like, yo, go ahead, little man. I want to see how you score. He's like, they just. I'm just new to this system. I just started 2 minutes ago, type stuff. Like, I don't know what we're doing. That's what I'm scared of with him. But I agree with you with that.
Yeah.
I
I don't
think
think
it's gonna
I
get
don't think
comfortable.
this game is strategically over the next two games. I think Tibbs should go back to the basics because these two rosters have not shown you that they can handle complicated and complex theory and things of that sort. They just have bad rosters. You know what I'm saying? If I'm Tibbs, I'm just like back to the drawing, but just basic. Let Brunson eat Tyus Jones all night. You know what I'm saying? Historically, Julius Randle destroy. You can count on 2 monster dunks from Randle tonight, right? Right, two throw it down their throat like Barkley type dunks tonight. If for
And
those
maybe
that,
one block dunk by Gafford because he gets them.
yeah. But and also I think the sneaky element tonight is I think quickly in DC is going to have a monster game tonight.
Hometown, right?
Yeah. I think because they don't have guards that can guard quickly. Right. They don't have, if you try now, Tyus Jones at point. I think they have what Tyus Jones and I think they have Tyus Jones and who else do they have? Delon Wright, I think is the other name I saw.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So they have Landry Shamet, Tyus Jones, Jordan Poole will might cover quickly a little bit. Um um Delon Wright doesn't play as much as we think. Um I think he does play a lot, but I didn't. No, he doesn't. So Delon Wright plays about 17, 18 minutes a game. And so their guard rotation is Poole, Jones, Bilal Koulibaly. So
That big guard.
yeah, yeah. So yeah, we may see some Oh God, Johnny Davis is so trash.
Wait, is Johnny Davis still on that team?
Yeah.
Johnny
'Cause
Davis Johnny Davis is so trash.
listen, you know, I don't even want to think about it. I feel so bad, man. After watching that draft and the scouting we did going into that draft, and then seeing what Johnny Davis has done since then, it's too much. I can't deal.
Oh my God. Yeah, I just want to. The fact that we don't have Ben Mathurin just makes me want to vomit.
I'm glad I'm not a Wizards fan because this would be the point of contention right here. So you mean to tell me we drafted Johnny Davis, who we thought could be the next best thing, and he's on this trash Wizards team, and he's averaging 5.2 points per game. He can't do more than that on this Wizards team where he could get the ball. Like I don't know.
Some Knicks fans wanted him too, because
I was one of them. That's why I feel bad.
In
What you
theory,
mean you should be happy?
he is the shrunken down version of RJ, who's the shrunken down version of Randall. Right? We'd had 3 Randalls on the floor at the same time. Just like them Russian dolls, you know, the Russian dolls where you take the thing off and it's a smaller version of the same thing.
Yeah.
It'd have been like that out there, bro. Oh my goodness. Yeah. Oh my God, man. But
That's crazy.
yeah,
He can't get more than 14 minutes of playing time over there, and on that team, 2-9 Wizards.
Oh my God.
With all the antics you've seen, Jordan. Listen, I don't really know what's going on over there, but after watching everything that Jordan Poole's been doing, let me tell you something. There would be a shakeup over there. And I'm not saying I'd get rid of Jordan Poole. I mean, we need Jordan Poole. I mean, he's on the team. He's a very talented player. Guess what? But Jordan Poole might get benched a little bit. He might lose a little of his time. I'll be throwing Johnny Davis in there. I'll be throwing Coulibaly, all these guys. Yeah. And I'll just be running the team and show you if you got good work ethic and you're listening to what I'm trying to get you to do out there and you're running the sets and running the schemes, you're going to play. We're 2-9. We're losing anyway. I might as well show the rest of you guys this is what I'm looking for if you want to be on this team and play consistent minutes.
Right.
And I'm not saying that Johnny Davis is doing it either, because he may not be doing it either.
No, but Wes Unseld Jr. is a decent coach.
Mm-hmm.
He's a decent coach. He's shown, and when you give him at least some table scraps of talent, he can turn that into a meal. Right? Parents know what I'm talking about. Like when you come home, ain't really nothing to eat, but you go look at them cupboards in the fridge and you make something out of nothing. You know what I'm saying? That's what we do. I think that's what Wes Unseld is doing right now, especially with a disjointed roster this year and last year. You know what I'm saying? So, but ultimately, I don't think they have enough to beat us. I'm nervous though that we shouldn't take any game for granted. Ultimately though, what I would say is if the Knicks pull through this weekend with 2 wins, and depending on how they do it, what we look like in those victories, I think Knicks fans can start to be hopeful. You know what I'm saying? Like stop kind of pointing the finger at everything wrong, and then focus in on Minnesota. And if we beat Minnesota, then now we can start feeling confident that this coaching staff can manage the roster and manage games at the same time. Because I think what we all feel like is Tom Thibodeau's regime or his coaching staff has flaws in it. Like either on game execution is great and we complain about rotations, or the roster thing is great and then we complain about Tibbs not making adjustment in game. But if we can make it out of this weekend, headed to Minnesota, with some confidence, I think the Knicks fans will be in a really good place.
Mm. Yeah.
Oh, BT is quiet. BT, what did I say something wrong, BT?
Not, I'm agreeing. I'm just trying to, I'm because there's always, me. I always look in everything, and every time we win, I always am probably the most critical person up here. But it just comes down to the players, man. We gotta just ease up a little bit, let it work, because let's say let's just say after this, let's just say that at the end of this season we make just the playoffs. Let's just say that, just to stick on the positive. We're not gonna say go deep in the playoffs. Is that good enough? Yeah. But at the same time, this will change the regime to where either we go back 2 steps, or we're gonna progress forward. So this is kind of a breaking point. I'm agreeing with you that we need to just sit back and watch and enjoy the games, because it's a good thing to see RJ play the way he's been playing after so long. It's a good way how Grimes and the team is playing. Let's just sit back and enjoy it like we used to back in the '90s type thing. That's how I'm taking it. Because even though it is Washington, I'm just saying, like, we were talking about it earlier in the season about it. No, before the season. Same thing with how we lost a couple of games. We ended up losing 5 games and we were 48. We had 48 overall wins, and we were talking about 5 games we could have won. Just like how we are now talking about both of the Boston games actually we could have won. So, like, I don't want to have that same pattern, because if that's the case, then everything got to change, because Tibbs' rotations ain't working and everything ain't clicking right. And I don't want to say that because I feel that it's working. It's going to take a lot of work. We got too much expectations for these guys, because it's been so long since we've actually had development. So for me, let's just sit back and enjoy the show, because telling you, if RJ comes out and plays tonight, and then let's say he actually gets hurt, he's out for a week, Grimes is out for 2 weeks. All you're going to hear is, oh, this Knicks team is bad, even if we were to win. So as fans, it's like we kind of got to pull back and just watch the games, because this is our product, regardless of how we feel about it. So,
So
we
you
got,
so you're not confident in the depth that the Knicks already have?
no, because the rotations that we have a 9-man rotation. 2 of our guys are out, and you're running a 7-man rotation. If you incorporate more players, and that's what I mean by, like, Fournier, I'm kind of scared of him. But everybody else, like Sims, McBride, if you incorporate more of them and we see what we have, we can plan for further down the road in case a serious injury comes up to Randall or anybody else. That's what's scaring me. We're good with our second team. Like, our second team is solidified with Quickly, DiVincenzo, Hart, Hartenstein. Like, we're good at there. But then after that, that's what scares me, because Hartenstein can get into foul trouble. Are we going to play Mitch the whole game? You see what I'm saying? Like,
Sim.
there's no Sims that you throw Sims in there, and he it took him 3-4 minutes to start to actually get incorporated in the game last time
And
before
you
he
can
even
also
hit a
play.
shot.
You can also use lineup flexibility too, with some Randall at the 5 maybe,
Mm-hmm.
and then do some. I think there are some options. I think there are some options there. I think that Knicks fans are confident in Jericho Sims and what Jericho Sims is. Now, we're not confident in his upside because we don't think he has any, right? He's just a junkyard dog. That's what Jericho Sims is. He's just an energy big off the bench, you know what I'm saying? That's going to give you everything he has in limited minutes. And if you expect Jericho Sims to run a pick and roll and shoot threes and go off for 40 points and 20 rebounds, that's a you issue. That's not a Jericho Sims issue. You know what I'm saying? Jericho Sims is a very good rebounder in his area, not a great rebounder outside of his space, right? Like, he's not a space rebounder. He's not a Mitchell Robinson, so to speak, that's gonna rebound at an elite level in space and run down rebounds. He's not that guy. So, but with that said, if you understand that and build game plans and things around that, then you know
But
that's what it is.
that's what I want to see, because then that shows Tibbs making adjustments, and Tibbs early in the season at least trying new things, as opposed to waiting till us down, like we need 2-3 games to make the playoffs or anything like that, or we need, you know what I'm saying, like where it's more pressure later on in the season. Now is the time that Tibbs need to be working on these rotations and holding these guys accountable. I mean, we all got confidence in our players, but we need to see it, because I'll say it again. I never believed RJ would be this good. I knew he was talented, but not like this. I wasn't an RJ head. I'm not gonna lie. I was too busy defending Randall. But if RJ can progress like this, I want to see who else can do it as well. So give them the opportunity. All hands on deck, like you always say. That's what I'm saying. Like, for me, hold the players accountable. Randall, don't get too aggressive early on. Last game you made the first 7 points, 7 out of 9 points, cool, but we don't need that tonight. What we need now is everybody else being more involved. Rest up for tomorrow. You see, I want to see how their mentality is on the court, as well as Tibbs making the adjustments. I believe in Tibbs. I think if we make the playoffs and hit the Eastern Conference Final, Coach of the Year. That's me, but like you said, sometimes our expectations are higher than what they really are. So, but I gotta
No,
hold them
I
accountable.
didn't say that. Your
No, I'm saying that's
expectations
how
can't
I
be higher
interpret it.
than
Sorry.
no, they can't. Your expectations can't be higher than what they really are.
Yeah,
Because
that's
if they no, what I say to it is sometimes we overestimate what we have at times, and then at other times we de-escalate or lower the value on certain guys. Like even right now, I think we're kind of low on the overall value of Emmanuel Quickly, right? Like some Knicks fans are saying that he's Cole Anthony or Jordan Poole at best. Like if Quickly gets his shot, he's going to be Jordan Poole. I don't think so, right? I think Quickly is a high level starting point guard in this league.
Let's get it.
You know what I'm saying? And so that's my opinion. But that's the floor for me for Quickly. Anything above that, I'm not going to speculate, right? In any like if we didn't have Jalen Brunson, would I be confident with Emmanuel Quickly as a starting point guard? Yes. Say for instance, if Jalen Brunson was 6'5" and you could play those two together, then I'd be confident with Quickly in the starting lineup.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And the thing with RJ also is with RJ, I think a lot of us figured he would be at where he is right now, not injured, of course, but his performance right now on the season. We feel like this could have been RJ Barrett maybe a year or two ago. But RJ Barrett's path here is not the conventional path, right? You had a head coach that shouldn't have been a head coach in David Fizdale. Notice David Fizdale has not even interviewed for another head coaching job since he got Knicks, right? This man ain't even interviewed. Nobody is there on their list of head coaching candidates, right? But he was in charge of developing RJ Barrett early on, right? So that's one thing. That's one setback for RJ, right? And then you bring Tibbs in, who is not really focused on the high upside of young players, but more focused on turning a losing franchise around, turning it into a winner. And so you have to prioritize. Are we focused on building this franchise into a winner, or are we focused on developing young talent? And while you can do both at the same time, you have to prioritize one over the other. You know what I mean? It's just what it is. That's why RJ Barrett's development, like for instance, when you look at Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, this is what I said the other day. When you look at Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, right? SGA was on a Clippers team that was headed nowhere fast. They trade him, winds up in a situation with Chris Paul and Dennis Schroeder, where SGA could be the third guard and learn from probably one of the highest IQ point guards of all time, right? So you get that training and in the moment, on the job training with Chris Paul, right? And then then you get the emergence, you get the emergence of SGA because he's on the floor with a guy that's a great NBA player, right? RJ didn't get that. RJ was on the floor with
Randall.
Do you remember how you held me then? Now you got me reaching out. And do you see you got me falling in more times than I can get out? Down in the deep of my mind, I crawl for you and you're always inside. Down in the deep of my mind, how long do I got to keep you, to keep you? Down in the deep of my mind, I crawl for you and you're always inside. Down in the deep of my mind, trying so hard not to keep you, to keep you.
Wiz coming in here blowing our eardrums. What's good?
Boy, run, run. That's who's run. That's
Salute.
Hey, Wiz. So just real quick, I'm gonna finish my point, Wiz, and then you can go do your thing, man. If you want. My thing is while SGA developed under Chris Paul and Dennis Schroeder in the early years, the impressionable years, RJ Barrett was learning with Elfrid Payton, Wayne Ellington, Reggie Bullock, Austin Rivers, Alec Burks, Kemba Walker, Derrick Rose. And when you notice RJ Barrett playing back-to-back seasons with a quality NBA point guard, you see he comes out and he emerges. And that just makes you think if we'd have just went out and got that quality NBA point guard early on in RJ Barrett's development, RJ Barrett may have been this player 2 or 3 years ago. May have been, possibly. It's just something to think about.
I agree, man. I agree.
Wow.
Yo.
You agree?
Wiz, you agree?
What's the one?
No
Wait.
No way. No way. I know.
Rewind
just
and come
say
again,
that.
man. Rewind and come again.
I always said RJ has a very, very high floor.
Right.
RJ is doing this season is being efficient with what he's been in the past. He's shown all of this, but he's not been efficient with it. So he's not going to go much higher. He's just going to get more efficient with what already was a very high floor.
Right.
He's a floor, low ceiling, but the floor is so high.
You think RJ has a low ceiling?
So
do you think RJ Barrett is Denny Avdija?
Not quite. But here's my hot take.
So wait a minute, is it low based on his draft status, or is it low as an NBA player?
Low as an NBA player. Actually, and draft status combined, both of them. But most of the NBA, I think his floor is very high. He came in with a very high floor. He's
Tyus Jones?
What?
Tyus Jones?
Nah, man. I can't think of a comp right now. I think about one. I got a better take, though. Got a better take for you guys.
Okay.
I think we're gonna leave DC tonight. And we're gonna leave behind 2 guys and take one with us. I think
we're not taking Kyle Kuzma with us, B. you better cut it out, Wiz.
Why would we take Daniel Gafford, bro?
No,
Wiz, you want Johnny Davis? You want another 6'4" non-athletic guard?
We're taking either Poole or Kuzma, and we'll leave the IQ and either RJ and Randall. So I'm telling you, man, tonight's your audition.
Oh boy!
At the end of the game, watching will decide to want to take IQ or not, and that's your deciding factor. If IQ performs, he's staying home. If he doesn't, then we're gonna be back at the squad. That's the only criteria I'm gonna say. If IQ shows up, he's gonna stay there in DC tonight, change uniforms, stay in the locker, and just go home to his parents' house. And then
Man,
Randy
California knows how to party.
or Kuzma is coming with us. That's big right now, son. I think it's gonna be RJ though, because that's why he's resting. Keep him healthy. Make the switch tonight. And IQ and Pool and
Wait a minute, Freezy. Did you say your version of a wild take? It was 67 wins. 60. Do you think that's the only version that exists? Is there any other versions of a wild take that there are out there?
Obviously, wild take is contagious. Very contagious.
I just want to say, you don't throw kerosene on the fire, Wiz. You throw the propane tank in it. That's what you do. That's exactly what you did. You threw a water heater on the fire. You took an old water heater and was like, wow. You went quickly to stay in Washington? Do you know how much that hurts us? At least quickly contests passes. At least quickly plays defense and tries to grab rebounds and gets down on the open court and try to be the second or third option coming back on offense. That's like getting hit with a baseball bat by your cousin.
He don't know about that though. That's crazy.
That's gonna be Deuce. Deuce gonna take.
Do you know Deuce only played like 13 minutes?
We love Deuce.
Yeah.
But reasonable minds are not going to cripple their franchise because they love one NBA player who's a good person and a good player. Like we love Deuce, and we know Deuce McBride is salt of the earth. We know he's a good person, and he's a very athletic, pound for pound. He may be the most athletic person on our roster, right? But no, you're not getting what? You're not even getting draft picks. You said we're gonna trade. First of all, you're saying a trade, right? Where the money don't match, and we're not getting draft picks back for trading away a young player.
RJ and IQ money matches for Kuzma.
Oh, you said RJ. Okay.
Yeah, RJ.
So you would trade RJ back for Kyle Kuzma?
The random with IQ is going to stay there, and so that's my take, man. I'm telling you. I mean, I wish it was Fournier and IQ to give me one of those cats, but right now it's RJ and IQ, or Randall and IQ going to stay there. And either Kuzma or Poole are coming back. I believe it or not, Poole would actually make us better if he can just keep his head straight. But Poole is now, hardened. Poole is now hardened. I'm miniature hardened, unfortunately. Because that cat's so talented, man. He's so talented.
Who? Kuzma? You said Kuzma is so talented?
No, Poole. Jordan Poole.
At what?
He's hardened right now. He's hardened in a young version of Harden. And that's the problem with him. Something's a little missing where he's not quite there. But Thibodeau and the Knicks could control him. So RJ and IQ for Poole is not out of the question.
Oh, what?
I know. I tell you, Ron, you
Call
called
for
it.
backup. I'm jumping out the window.
RJ.
Let me tell you something. I think Scott Perry, when he said, I just don't know if Donovan Mitchell is just that guy. Like, I don't know. He might need more to help him. I think Scott Perry be looking at you sideways right now, Wiz. Like he bring Donovan Mitchell on the Knicks team in a heartbeat over Jordan Poole. Like right. I don't think Jordan Poole is not the guy you want on an established basketball team right now. He's a guy you can put maybe with some young stud players that might be able to go to war together, but you have to have a system in place. Like Jordan Poole has been left to his own devices over there because they don't have anybody that can really that it's not just about talent. You also have to have class and culture and organizational, and it has to be organizational, but it also has to be within the team. And that team is a bunch of young players who they're just going out there playing basketball and they are not taking things seriously yet. Okay. I'm not saying it's going to stay that way. It's going to change, I would assume. But right now, there's no structure over there. So it's kind of almost looks like they have a college atmosphere, the way they're acting over there. So no. Don't bring that over here in the Garden.
And he needs to have 8 guys around him who are gonna get him, get his head right. There's no way George is gonna succeed in Washington. It's gonna be he's
I
gonna
agree.
edge.
I mean, I'm not saying no way. There might be a way. They got to change the players, but I hear you. I hear you, Wiz.
But Wiz, I think the point to it all is this: who cares? We're Knicks fans. We don't care what happened in Washington. We hope they go 0-82. We don't care if Jordan Poole is successful with the Wizards. We hope he the ops for them. Right? We hope he deep sixes that franchise. Right? Because at the end of the day, you line up 30 teams and all 30 teams have one goal in mind. That's championships. Now the thing about it is some teams are closer to that championship than others, right? But everybody wants to win that championship for their team. And if Jordan Poole right now is shooting 40% from the floor. Think about this: a 6'4" chat. Here's the argument again: should we bring in another 6'4" inefficient scorer?
I don't want Poole. I want Kuzma. RJ for Kuzma, and then IQ. Unfortunately, as the collateral.
What? Hold on, Wiz.
Wizard.
What's going on? Wiz got me talking, and I don't want to talk. I'm trying to listen to Wiz. Wiz got me saying stuff, man.
Right.
Why are you trading away RJ as this is the best we've ever seen RJ? So stop it, everybody. Stop.
Right. What are we doing?
RJ will step up this year. You called it. And stepping for RJ is being more efficient, right? And making it a little bit less selfish, making those passes, hustle a little bit more on defense. And he's right now he's the hottest RJ will ever be, I think, right now. If he maintains this level of play, right? It's phenomenal where he's right now. He's the most valuable for us right now. And it could become another scenario where he loses value and we want to trade him at a low value 6 months or a year from now. And that's my fear why I consider it. By the way, I'm not saying I'm saying I sense, and from my sources, I got sources, people, that are talking.
I have sauces.
Sources, not sauces.
I have sauces. I have sweet and sour and barbecue.
Some jerk sauce and some from oxtail, sauce from oxtail. And some, but
yeah.
Okay, I'm just saying.
All right, Wiz. Hey, listen. Wiz, man. Wiz got me taking over the show. Like, hold on. Is this still Knicks fans? Hold on, Wiz. Like, what is going on?
What's going
Wiz got me speaking. I don't want to speak, man. Try to listen. First off, but calm down, Wiz, and calm down, Keith Turner. What we not going to do. This is what we not going to do as Knicks fans. We can't do this, Knicks fans. We cannot do this. We cannot look at RJ Barrett for the 5 years. Well, this is the 5th year. Let's just say I'm just throwing 5 years that he's been here. Every year we say he's been inconsistent. Every year we said we need RJ to step up. Every year we say we need more from RJ. Every year we say, oh, he's only 21. Oh, he's only 22. Oh, now he's only 23. If he's playing the way we want to see him play, and he's only 23 or whatever it is, can we just wait until we see the other shoe drop, and then we can say, okay, this is consistently RJ going back to being inconsistent? Because he's going to have a bad game here and there. That's fine. He hasn't had it yet. Imagine that. But when it happens, we can deal with it. It's if he starts to go back into the pattern, and I hate to say it because I know people look like, well, you kind of sometimes you got to trade while the getting's good, while your value is at the high. I'm not doing that with RJ Barrett after all of these years saying we need him to do better. We need to see this. And he's finally doing it. And he's still a young player. I got to give this young guy a shot first before I say I want to just move on from him, trade him while the getting's good. I can't do that. Julius Randle.
But your point, but that's where I think the point is flawed. Because if trading him while the getting is good is the argument, are we considering Kyle Kuzma the good?
Okay,
exactly. Like,
okay,
what?
I didn't even get to that
And
part.
quickly.
Let me just round it off so you guys can start speaking. I got to do something for my wife anyway. I'll be right back. But now even though I'm saying this, if they say tomorrow it's RJ Barrett and blah blah blah, and it's Joel Embiid's coming back, then I got to do it. I'm not saying you don't trade him for
but
anybody. I'm not trading him for Kyle
beyond
Kuzma.
good.
I'm not
That's
trading him
beyond
for
good.
Kyle
That's great,
Kuzma.
right?
Yeah,
that's
that's
what I'm
different.
saying.
See
Exactly.
that was my argument, and I had an argument. I said this. I was on Morning Brew earlier. It's talking about Zach LaVine, and like, okay, well, Zach LaVine is gonna probably get moved. All right, that's cool. I don't want Zach LaVine personally, and Zach LaVine don't want to be here. I don't know why we're still talking about him. But even if we were, why would you want to trade RJ Barrett straight up for Zach LaVine? They doing the same thing right now.
Right.
Why? How do the Knicks get better? Does that fix us not having the size that everybody wants? Does that fix not having a backup power forward? Like, what is the point of it? All right, I'm done.
Right, and then the thing with Zach LaVine and Kyle Kuzma is right now, RJ Barrett, and I know it's early, so don't jump out the window when I say this. But right now, RJ Barrett is the best defender in the NBA for all players that play over 30 minutes. Right? It's on NBA.com. I put it on the screen 2 days ago for y'all to see it.
Bam,
RJ Barrett is the best defender in the NBA for all players that have played over 30 minutes a game right now. And I know that's a small sample size. I know it's only 7 games, right? But you would trade that plus 50% shooting from 3, right? And 22 points a game for Kyle Kuzma, who is a notorious play when he feel like it player. Yeah, I mean, I think we reaching Wiz.
I'm not saying I want it to happen. I'm saying that, and plus it's not a straight up trade, by the way. That's more value from us to them. So we're actually going to have them, first of all, take off their restriction on our. Well, actually, it's going to convey, right? Washington trade's going to convey.
Okay.
So we want some picks for him and or something else.
Okay.
Maybe who's their power forward on the bench that they can give us? So I'm going to get IQ out because IQ is going to be taken next year. Someone's going to give IQ 30 mil a year or 28 mil a year. We're not going to match that. They go above 25, we're not going to match IQ. Even 25 is a little high for IQ, and we're not going to match. So we're going to lose IQ for nothing. So we got to find a way to, to maximize, get an IQ out, and gain some value for him. And
okay,
go ahead.
Who's backing up Brunson and Grimes and RJ right now? Currently hurt. So even if you wanted to trade, let's say RJ, you can't right now because he's currently injured.
No, we got to get. I mean, they're older point guards. We got older point guards who just seasoned point guards out there. You can find a trade. Maybe it's a 3-way trade, but it's not like we shouldn't be looking at trying to move IQ. We can't get him to match salary next year. IQ is going to go off. I personally don't think so. I think
you would rather you're going to get rid of IQ now, where he's fighting for a contract. Give him more by getting him off this roster as opposed to contributing to us when he could do that with us for what he's doing right now.
So he's a rental right now. IQ's a rental for us right now, in my opinion. He's a 1-year rental because we're not going to match.
He's been with us for okay.
But Wiz, how do you rent something that you own?
That's what I was saying. Yeah, thank you.
Exactly. Yeah,
I was stuttering for a minute. I was like,
still got stuff.
Thank you.
Right to rent to own because we have the right of first refusal and rent to own.
No. Yeah. So Wiz, with that means
Well, we did market, but we have the right to pull it off the market at a price, right? We have the house on the market right now, so technically it's our house, but it's on the market, and a high bidder.
No. Technically, it's the house that you live in.
Okay.
Right. And technically, it's the house that you live in your scenario because IQ plays major minutes for us, and he has a role with us. It's not like he's a draft pick.
Mm-hmm.
So right now, what is RJ's salary?
$4 million a year.
So literally, RJ and one other piece could actually match Poole or Kuzma, right? Even though I'd rather Kuzma than Poole. But I'm telling you, man, these guys, something is up. I'm just saying. I don't believe the migraine thing. I really don't believe it. I believe the knee thing is possible because he had a lot of play this off season, and there's something going up where they need to find a way to cover themselves. And right now, I think they fear that they're gonna lose IQ for nothing, and then the opportunity is RJ showing and people putting out bids and offers right now that may be too good to refuse. I mean, maybe Leon was woke up with a horse's head in his bed this morning. There may be a horse's head in Leon's bed this morning, and he's got to make a deal, or else. You know. So you
Is
think
this
that?
how I sound after we win? Like I sound like this after we win when I come on here?
Yes.
I'm just asking because Wiz, I got nothing but love for you, bro. But what you're saying is you're gonna get rid of our youngest player, who's also shown to be our best player, and he's injured for Kuzma because of what he did with the Lakers, and you're gonna get rid of Quickly, who backs up well into our system behind Brunson, as well as also contributes not offensively but also defensively for a
Freezie,
veteran.
I'm saying to
And you
do it.
think we have enough to go over the top?
Do it. I'm not saying to do it. Freezy, I didn't say I walk in there saying, let's do this trade. I'm saying I sense, and again, based on just sources, and maybe it's a dream I had last night, I sense that they're making a move tonight, and and Washington is actually a spot that IQ would fit perfectly in, and they may want to make a move that gives them value back for what could possibly be a lost cause next summer. And so I'm just saying that I sense something going on, and the coincidence of them playing them now, and RJ being held out for the last 3 games for the knee and the migraine and whatever else is going on, it's so well right now. Saying that's my spidey sense that says it. Not that I want to do it. I personally would want with the team we got right now. I still fear losing IQ next summer for nothing, and that's my biggest fear is losing IQ for nothing next summer because I think he's going to get an offer we can match or we
No,
won't
so
match.
not to cut you off with. So you think that if we do the so-called trade that you supposedly gonna happen, we gonna get better and gonna like
Oh,
progress?
I don't think we're going to get better necessarily, but I think we're going to feel more secure.
Okay. We're
So
no,
the Knicks are gonna
I was just
right.
gonna say
I'm with the chat. So the Knicks are gonna do this trade and win a championship because of Kyle Kuzma.
No, no. What's going to? I didn't predict the results of the trade. But there's nothing I said.
But why would you do the
I
trade
didn't
if you're
see
not
this.
gonna win? If you're not, so Kyle Kuzma. Okay, so Wiz is saying Kyle Kuzma is the finishing piece.
No,
Okay, all right.
because we're going to try to not lose IQ for nothing. And the only opening they may see available is combining them for a piece that may replace an existing piece.
What piece is that though? You're gonna combine R.J. Barrett and Emmanuel quickly for what piece?
For Kuzma and hopefully a
Oh my
veteran
God! Oh.
guy and the restrictions on the Washington trade next year, and that's going to be part of our next trade to get a big guy, to get a big piece.
so. Okay, you're saying this year we're basically gonna take a step back, so for next year we could be good because none of these players played together, and everything we're doing right now is not good enough for us to make the playoffs. That's why you thinking this way.
Playoffs, we're going to make the playoffs if we lose 5 guys. If we play with only 5 guys like Tim's trying to do right now, we're going to make the playoffs. We're in the playoffs. No one says that. So why you guys go from extreme of winning the championship, not making the playoffs? In my statement. My statement is simply this: I sense that I would do it, that this is an audition for IQ, and if he does well, Washington may make an offer that we may jump at because we have opportunities right now to get a replacement piece that could actually. Kuzma could play both the 3 and the 4, by the way. Kuzma will be both the starting 3 and the backup 4 in a true sense, right? And we get IQ, some value for IQ, and things like removing the restriction of Washington's trade pick and potentially finding some other filler that's going to be solid for us. It could be a a mature guard who has who has the qualities that can back up Brunson well, while we try to raise Deuce to fill in the backup point guard position. So I'm just saying there are possibilities. It's going to be it could be a two-way, three-team trade. But I'm just saying I sense that. I'm not saying the results of it may be we could lose everything. The team falls apart. Randall goes crazy because his only buddy is RJ because they've been together so long, and Brunson could lose his mind and be like, I didn't approve that trade. Whatever. I'm not saying the result's going to be that. Or Kuzma is going to take us to the championship. We're going to beat Boston, sweep Boston, and then sweep Denver. But I'm not saying any of those extreme scenarios. I'm giving the results of the trade. Here's the sense I have of what I'm feeling may happen tonight after this game when you see IQ different uniforms on him.
But Wiz, the reason why I asked you that was because if you think the team is good enough to make the playoffs now, why would you jeopardize it by trading two key guys in RJ and Quickly?
Exactly.
Because Leon sees the big picture of we are going to be in the playoffs, which is not championship. Making the playoffs, we're going to make it whether or not we have RJ or Kuzma or IQ on that roster. We're going to make the playoffs. We have the pieces to make the playoffs. But making the playoffs is not good enough when right now looks like they're going to run. They talk about Moses Malone 4-4-4. It was what they say. KP going to say it in Ukrainian. Whatever. What's KP? Where's KP from? He's going to be like 4-4-4. And they look like that's going to be the Eastern Conference. Boston Celtics look like they could see the Eastern Conference if their pieces are all clicking and they're all healthy. I know the Knicks look like they could beat them as well. I believe the Knicks could beat them. I'm just saying it could be Leon's way of saving face, not losing IQ next year for nothing.
But Wiz, I think that's wrong because you're gonna lose something that you could trade as well as later in the season, as well as with value if you really need that. But what I'm also gonna say is this: if you make the playoffs, deep into the playoffs, the first time you make the playoffs, you make it to the first round. The next time you make the second round. Then the third time, 3 and 4 years, you make the playoffs. You have at least one player make a 2-time All-Star within the 4 years. You may have 2 this year, depending on if Randall and Brunson stay on point. I don't know if RJ is going to be fully healthy to compete.
Okay.
But if you have those, that's not a bad season. In 4 years, you make the. That's not a bad time for anybody. That's actually good, especially coming from our old history of every year or every 2 years of rotating and changing the programs. I remember seeing after Phil Jackson got fired, they changed the whole staff, started all over again. Next coach, that's all they've been doing. So for once, we actually might have a chance in 4 years, 3 of those 4 years make the playoffs, have multiple All-Stars, and not just in Randall, but actually have a coach who might be eligible for a back-to-back coaching of the year because we made the playoffs and he progressed. You're going to risk all of that and get rid of RJ quickly?
All right, hey, hold on for a split second. Hey, go ahead, Wes.
Okay, so let's step back a little bit. One, this is not my statement of what we should do nor what I want to do. I'm saying
it sounds like it though because you're passionate about it.
No, I'm just saying I sense it. I'm not passionate. I'm just giving you there's 2 things. Second thing is RJ and IQ replaced by Kuzma does not change Brunson and Randall making an All-Star team. They're All-Stars we're gonna have still.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does. It does, Wiz, because Kuzma has proven over the years that he is not a impactful player. He subtracts from the pie. He doesn't add to it.
Okay,
That's why he's in Washington.
Okay,
If Kuzma was that guy, he'd still be with the Lakers.
Okay. So again, let me just throw a couple more thoughts out there about what I'm saying about. It's not the end of the world. I think Kuzma scoring like KP did. People say the same about KP last year. You sound like Boston's fans would be when KP got traded and Smart got sent out, and I'm sure.
No, I don't, because first of all, Kristaps Porzingis is a unicorn, right?
Yes,
and Kyle Kuzma is a 6'9", above average combo forward with scoring upside. We can find those guys from anywhere USA. A 7'3" unicorn that can shoot the three and block shots
but
is not somebody that you can pick up from Target.
Rational Knicks fan, Boston Celtics fans, and I know many of them. Most of my friends from college were from Massachusetts. They went nuts when you got to the heart of their defense. This is Marcus Smart was a key piece of, like, we got injury-prone Kristaps Porzingis, and we got to the what, and then look at what are we. They were nuts. So I'm like, oh no, how do you mess up a ECF final champion, a NBA final pre-champion 2 years ago?
But Wiz, that's what I'm saying. It sounds like you reaching, because now you're comparing a Boston Celtics fan base that was this close to a championship to a Knicks fan base that are happy to make the playoffs. The sensibilities are different.
And Porzingis is a unicorn that we gave up. What you're basically might be doing the same thing with Quickly and RJ if you trade for them. That's doubling down on what we did in the past, and we're now looking at years later like, okay,
why are we talking about Kyle Kuzma, man?
I don't know, but listen, let me just say this real quick, because I don't want Wiz taking mad fire, bro.
I deserve it. He deserve it right now. Hold on, real quick. I'm about to jet everybody. So everybody have a nice day and things like that. One too, sir. And right. Cheers and stuff like that.
All right, King Ribby.
Hey, peace, bro.
Have a good one.
I mean, listen, Kuzma is a player that some teams would like to have. I'm sure if the Knicks could get Kuzma in a different set of circumstances, they wouldn't mind having him on the roster either. He's averaging 23.9 points, 6.1 rebounds, 35% shooting from three, 47%.
He's 6'9" and getting 6 rebounds.
Yeah, you know how I feel about that. Oh man,
bro.
But
I bet you Brunson could get more rebounds than him.
But I will say, I don't know what the hell's going on in Washington. I don't know how they're running things, because last year he averaged 7.2, and the year before that he averaged 8.5 in Washington. So I don't know what they're doing over there. But even that being said, I don't know what your spidey senses are telling you, Wiz, but RJ is not going to get traded for no Kyle Kuzma. The Knicks insiders, whether that be the Ian Begleys or I forgot the other guy's name with the S, they have said that the Knicks are not willing to, they're not willing to trade any of their big pieces, whatever you consider big pieces, unless it's for a big star. So that being said right there, and the way that RJ Barrett is playing right now, RJ Barrett is not getting traded for anybody of the likes of Kyle Kuzma, Jordan Poole, anybody like that.
Nobody,
it's only going to be for the bigger names.
They didn't even trade him for Donovan Mitchell.
Exactly.
Bro, they wouldn't even trade for Donovan Mitchell. And we talking about Kyle Kuzma?
And if we needed a backup point guard, we would have got rid of quickly earlier in the season and kept Rose. Like, what are we really talking about if you saying we need a backup veteran guard? We would have just kept Rose. Like, there's so many things
today.
Yo. So tomorrow morning, Ron, you're on tomorrow morning, right, Ron?
I am.
Yep. 11 o'clock.
What are you gonna offer me tomorrow morning? You gonna buy me 2 pounds of salmon and stuff?
Listen, if you want to come in tomorrow morning with this same stuff, listen, that's an hour of content. I don't got to do much talking. Everybody just be going at you. I'm like, all right.
I just gotta say, Wiz, if you
I wish you would have did that tomorrow.
If you right, I would like the lottery numbers, please. When your spider senses is tingling, tell me the numbers you know if this turns out to be true.
Bro, I wish we could take these last 40 minutes back, bro. I promise you. I wish we could take these last 20 minutes back and just, you know how you say, you wish you can go back in the past and do stuff all over again. I wish I could. I wish I would have just cut Wiz off and asked him a question first.
He would have paused Wiz.
It's okay. Wiz chose violence today. I don't know why, but it's
I don't know why. I don't know.
Tomorrow morning,
look, he's a Knicks fan, and he came up here with a probable question as a Knicks fan. So we can't really hate. We gotta at least admire that he had an idea.
No. I'm hating. I'm hating. No, I'm hating BT because this is not no probable new question. This is Wiz's Kuzma question all the time. This hasn't changed.
Yeah, man.
Okay, Wiz, real quick. What makes Kuzma so desirable in your eyes?
We ain't gonna do that. No, we ain't talking about Kyle Kuzma no more. We gotta get out. No, we gotta move on, bro. Because first of all, Kyle Kuzma's not a Knick. He's not he nothing. What are we talking? Kyle Kuzma? Knicks fans talking Kyle Kuzma. And then we expect other fan bases to respect our knowledge.
No,
we ain't talking about trade RJ Barrett and Emmanuel Quickly for Kyle Kuzma.
And more. Not just Kuzma alone, but he's that's gonna be matching the salary.
What does a 2-9 Wizards team have that's attractive?
No, it's not.
Bro, if they had anything attractive, they wouldn't be 2-9.
Draft a number 1 draft pick.
I don't think the Wizards are giving up a number 1 draft pick to anybody.
If they're 2-9 now, they're not giving up their draft pick because they probably gonna get the first overall pick.
We own their draft pick right now.
Right.
That is unprotected. From Connecticut, next year's draft pick from Connecticut, from UConn. Hardwell's gonna come over and say, "Yo, my nephew's a dick tobacco. Thank you very much, IQ and RJ."
Wiz chose violence today, folks. That's all I got. I don't know what's going on.
You don't believe in the unit.
And
you don't believe in our
no
team.
disrespect to the Stephon Castle kid, who I like, but we're not trading RJ Barrett and Emmanuel Quickly for Stephon Castle, bro.
So you don't believe our team can make the playoffs? That's what you're saying.
Wait, and you already. I'm sorry, BT. I didn't mean to cut you off. I'm just thinking because Wiz said something. I just caught it. If we already have the Wizards pick and the Wizards stink, why am I'm not trading nothing to the Wizards. Stink of the way I like the way you're stinking right now. Keep stinking. You know what I mean? Like what? We're not doing nothing to help that team.
Right. This will make zero.
If anything, they're helping us by letting us play against them.
Maybe I don't get it,
other teams play. Like we could.
I didn't even think about that. Oh, we definitely smacking the Wizards tonight. There's too many reasons not to. 1, we're better than them. 2, they're 2-9. 3, we got their pick. So the worse they get, the better for us. And it's an in-season game. There's no reason. If the Knicks lose tonight, it's gonna be bad.
And they're tanking.
Hey,
and they're tanking. Why would you let Jordan Poole shoot that shot right there and you didn't hear anything from the Wizards PR or front office or the coach saying, no, we don't like that type of behavior?
Oh, okay.
They're encouraging that, bro. They're encouraging the tank because they know they suck.
Right.
If they didn't know they suck, why would they trade Porzingis and Bradley Beal in a calendar year if they wasn't tanking?
Shout out to Sherwin because that does stink. If that's the case, I'm not paying attention to the pick. But Ron, he said the Wizard pick is top 18 protected. Well, if that's the case, then
Yeah. Well, it was top 18 protected last year. We don't know what the protection. I think
it could be a little different this year.
Yeah. The protections will go down. We won't get that pick until 2026.
At least top 10 protected. We're not gonna get that pick. That pick is gone. We're gonna get two second rounders. But by the way, was a
the Wizards ain't making the Wizards ain't making the Wizards making the playoffs.
Freezie, KP was signing trade. They had no choice. KP only because he wanted to trade to Boston. He didn't sign, and Washington said, "We're going."
So the Wizards didn't have bird rights for him.
No, I mean they may have.
Yes, they did. Yes, they did.
They did. He signed a contract with Boston before he went with them.
Yeah. They got his bird rights. They got his bird rights in the trade from Dallas, bro. Remember he signed a contract with Dallas
Yeah.
He played 3 seasons with Dallas. That automatically give them the bird rights because he played 3 consecutive seasons with them.
If sign and trade was going to be, if he signed and trade what he signed for, he could have still got that open market free agency. He could have had the same thing free agency and go somewhere else. But he wanted Boston, and so he said, okay.
He couldn't. He couldn't. No, another team couldn't just jump in and have bird rights, bro.
No, not bird rights, but he had a free agency signing for the amount above what he's currently signed for. He just took his extension. He took his player's choice, right? It was his choice to sign for to extend, right? It was player option, and he signed his option. That's all he did. He did his option. That's all he did. He didn't do anything more than his option. And said, okay, I'll sign my option, and then as long as you trade me out of here. So it was his call, not Washington's call. So that doesn't count. So KP is out of the picture in that dialogue. Washington right now.
No, KP is not out of the picture, Wiz. You leaving out convenient stuff for your argument on that.
His choice to say, I will sign my player option if you trade me. It wasn't a Washington, I'm trading him because we don't need him or we don't want him. It was player option. We need something for you. Can you do us a favor? Do us a solid? Boston couldn't sign him straight up on the free agency, but Houston could have, or San Antonio could have. All those guys with cap space could have signed him free agent above his player option. But he chose the player option.
Wiz, all of this, think about all of this for Kyle Kuzma.
No, all this for Stephon and for Kyle and for maybe some other piece that's gonna get us ready for maybe the bigger piece, the real piece. That's gonna make.
So you think we're gonna do another trade in order to get better pieces to trade for the bigger piece?
I'll be right back, yo. I'm gonna go outside and throw up.
I'm waiting on backup, man. I had a few heart attacks and a couple of light strokes, so I'm just waiting for the ambulance. I jumped out the window 20 minutes ago. They turned here.
Where's this man? This ain't Know the Ledge. If it was Know the Ledge, I'd definitely have the guy going out the window right now, Wiz. Definitely have him flying right out the window.
Yo,
you know what? I think all of this was because your name is Wiz and the Wizards, man. I think you really trying to jinx us tonight. I think you trying to jinx us.
BT, you might have stumbled upon it, man. This might be it.
He's trying to use his wisdom to go against us. Like,
argument was this: if we do well, if IQ does well and plays and balls out, which means that means we're gonna win. If IQ does well and show the Wizards what they could have, which means we win because if IQ excels, we're probably gonna win. It means that's where the deal will be done. Not if IQ sucks and we lose. So it has to be a Nick victory with IQ leading the way, and that's the deal. I'm not sabotaging the Knicks. I'm actually saying the Knicks will win with IQ put up 38-5, and we're gonna be like 35-8. Let's say 5 rebounds, 8 assists, or maybe a double. And that's when Wizards gonna be like, yo, we won that cat. We're not going to wait for a young rookie named Stephon Diggs, but IQ can lead our team and be the guy we want to raise our new guys coming next, whenever we come back with. And they're going to say, I'll protect that pick. We'll take your other garbage pick from Milwaukee and anybody else and give us your pick. You can have an unprotected pick next year because you guys want Stephon. You guys like a Connecticut baller. Or you may want to go back to Villanova and get some Villanova player because you guys like Nova players.
All right. Well, hold on, Wiz. Whoa. One more thing. Shout out to Corey Lee. This is the last year of that front office. So I don't know if they want to make those type of deals. I think they're trying to make forward-thinking deals right now. But the other thing, Wiz, is why don't we just be happy and content with this New York Knicks roster and see what they do? What if we continue to watch what's happening in front of us and RJ continues to ball out and go crazy and IQ hits that second gear? Because I still think IQ's got a gear he hasn't hit yet. He has not really taken control of that second unit. It's his unit, and he hasn't really taken control of that second unit yet. What if IQ just starts to ball out and go crazy? I mean, if IQ plays incredible, and RJ continues to play the way he's playing, and we know what Julius and what Brunson are going to give us, right? and Mitch is playing fantastic.
right?
This Knicks team's not going to need a lot.
I
Okay,
know,
so we may not even need to talk about making a trade. Let's just
IQ
play it out, see what happens.
Especially that trade. Especially that trade.
IQ balls out. What happens next summer? He gets some offers we can't afford.
But
Hey,
that's not the
so
point.
Wiz,
What if we make the Eastern Conference Finals because of Q
and
Quickly?
then Wiz, and then too, just real quick, BT, just real quick. Wiz, you're saying that we can't afford. That's false.
I should say afford. Okay, we don't want to match.
Right, but we don't know that either. You don't know if the Knicks want to match or not yet, right? You want to allow Quickly to play out this season and establish market value, and then pay him what all parties involved feel like is market value, right?
Yes.
If you trade him now for draft picks, what do the Knicks? The Knicks have shown you that they don't care nothing about draft picks. But when's the last time the Knicks drafted somebody, a rookie, and brought him in?
No, we don't care about draft, but we care about the top three potential draft picks for next year to trade for a big piece.
No, bro, we drafted Ousmane Dieng at 11 and immediately traded him to Oklahoma City. We had the rights to Jalen Duren, and we traded him immediately.
And we want to have a high draft pick to use to get a big piece next summer. We need a high.
But you're assuming that's what the Knicks want to do, but you don't know that.
I know, and this is all speculation. I'm not saying this is facts, by the way. I'm talking about the rumors I'm hearing, the stuff I'm seeing, and the potential logic about lose a player like IQ for nothing. IQ will be our Brunson. IQ could become our Brunson from Dallas Mavericks' point of view. That's a possibility.
But what I'm gonna say is this: we developed Quickly, we showed Quickly what to do, and who's not to say that Quickly's not gonna come back for 19 mil and we own it? Because remember, the money we're paying Fournier, that's 18 mil coming off the books. That's plus we still got 2 million. I think it's 2 or 3 million still off the books from this year. No, we're plus 4 million this year. So we can afford to pay for Quickly. But then what about RJ? That stuff you gotta wait till the end of the season, because if Quickly gets us to, let's say, the Eastern Conference Finals, but you're gonna trade him now because his value's at the highest, but he makes another team goes into the. No, it doesn't work like that. We built Quickly. We're gonna see what the market value is for him. Let him play out, because think about it. If Quickly is the reason why he could be the plus or minus for us making a certain distance into the playoffs. All I'm trying to say is this: if you trade that away, now we weaken our team to get further. Plus, if you also look at that, he's gonna be coming back next year because he's playing for a contract right now. Let's take full value of it because we know what he is and he's our guy. Let's enjoy what we have, because that's the same thing with Mitchell. I don't understand why people don't even
Break him down, BT. Get him, BT.
I'm just saying, like, pay attention to what we got, man. We got very good talent where we're at. We got a lot of good pieces. One person we need is probably just a good backup power forward. Like I keep saying,
we're not going to get a backup power. Let me see this. Paris Sucker, thank you for the generous contribution. Paris Sucker says you only win through building from the draft. Only ping pong balls will bring teams a chip. Old bums from other eras and teams aren't ever winning here. Right. So and so the thing is we got to be careful about how hypocritical we sound, right? Because here's the thing: for everybody saying that the Knicks don't want to pay quickly, y'all sound ridiculous. And the reason why I say that is because last season, not this season, with Evan Fournier on the books for 19 plus million, last year you had Fournier and Rose on the bench and not playing them. That was about $35 million on the bench that wasn't even playing. And then you're talking about you don't want to pay Emmanuel Quickly, who is integral in your rotation. Do you hear how ridiculous we sound as Knicks fans? We don't want to pay Quickly. Quickly want money. Man, you paying Evan Fournier right now and he ain't doing nothing. And last year you paid Fournier and Rose and they wasn't doing nothing. But yet a dude that plays and adds value to you every night, you don't want to pay him? We sound crazy, bro. We sound crazy.
Not whether pay him or not. How much? You know, the same thing we're saying right now.
Did you say how much? Wiz, you said how much?
How much is the question?
Right. Last year we was paying Rose and Fournier $35 million, and neither were playing.
How much are you going to pay?
$35 million. Are we going to offer quickly $35 million? No.
Would you match that?
Bro, come on.
I think the we've lost the whole wait and see approach. I think we got to be able to wait and see. And I like BT's point. BT's point could be everything for what Emmanuel Quickly is to this Knicks team. The Knicks could go on a hell of a run going into the playoffs, and Quickly could be responsible for that. Or get into the playoffs, and Quickly might be the X factor that carries us through certain rounds in the playoffs. He could be the difference maker and wake up everybody's eyes and say, oh, wow, do you see how good Quickly played in these tough situations? This is a guy that can't go anywhere. He's got to stay here. And the one thing that I also think the Knicks have in their favor, what Mitchell Robinson said recently about the Knicks and their loyalty to him is huge, because the Knicks have been getting a lot of bad PR with regards to some of their players, Cam Reddish, Rose, Fournier. Right. You know, but to hear a player who's actually integral to the team come out and say, they've showed me loyalty, and that's why I want to play like this for this team. That's a great look for the Knicks.
That's everything, bro.
Yeah, that matters,
and
man.
You want to trade that guy that we see in Quickly, and he's our guy. That's our little pup. We took him out the shelter. That's our little dog. That's our dog.
Right.
We took care of him. Now you want to trade him? When
now you talking about trade him? And then the sauce, and then the coup d'etat to everything is a dude in Chicago talking about, he went to the organization and they agreed, you know what I'm saying, that it's best to move on, but anywhere except New York, anywhere except the Knicks, I don't want to play for the Knicks. He didn't even say I don't want to play in New York. He said I don't want to play for the Knicks.
True.
You know what I'm saying? And we out here thinking that we just gonna pull off a move and get a guy to come here with his dancing shoes on, singing like Sammy Davis. He's so, nah, bro. Nah, man. Come on, bro.
All I'm saying is that based on what I'm hearing, I'm just saying, I talk to a lot of different people, right? I'm just saying is that IQ right now, we sound like Mark Cuban did 2 years ago. We raised this young man. We're loyal to him. We did offer him a little bit lowball salary during the offseason before he went free agent. And then he got an offer that we didn't want to match. And it was not, and Mark Cuban, 20 mil a year for Mark Cuban is a drop in the bucket, right? You know that he could easily have matched Brunson. So now
see, again, all of that is not true. For one, Jalen Brunson, right, was not a first-round pick. He wasn't guaranteed 4 years at such and such mil a year. He was a second-round pick that entered in a sub-market contract for a second-round pick. Second-round picks, you don't sign your second-round picks to 4-year deals at base minimum. That's what Dallas did to Brunson. That's one of the things you left out, right? 4-year deal, 4 years at base minimum. Generally, what you do with second-round picks, like what we did with all of our second-round picks, you sign them to 2 + 1 + 1, right? That way, if they suck, you let them go, right? Hold on, Wiz. Hold on. Then and after that, the max they could offer him, based on him being a second-round picks, was 4 years for $52 million. That's why Jalen Brunson made it to free agency.
Right.
Because he wasn't going to sign for no 4 years, $52 million. That's why the extension didn't get done. And then when he made it to unrestricted free agency, where it was Dallas versus the open market, Dallas lost in the open market to another team. So to say Quickly is in the same boat is false. Quickly was on a guaranteed escalator first-round pick contract because he was a first-round pick. So even if he didn't make all the bread the first year, every year went up, Quickly got a pay raise because he was a first-round pick.
Freezie, I'm not talking about literally the same. I'm talking about similarities are.
You presented it as literally the same, though.
We offered below what he probably wanted this past summer. Would you say we made an offer probably this summer? Did you give him an offer to Quickly this past summer?
They probably negotiated.
Exactly. So
they probably didn't get close. If they got close, we would have heard that they got close.
Okay, so but there was definitely an offer of some kind, right? You think so, right? Or
On both sides?
right.
Okay.
Okay, let's assume that happened. More than likely it happened. Because I'm sure IQ wants to stay and they want to keep him in some way, but they don't want to pay more than a certain amount. So whatever they said to him, who knows what his feeling is about that, by the way. Also losing his boy Obi and having all the talks going around. But all Wannabe has started himself as a starter at point guard, instead of having being a backup. All those factors are in play for next summer to be a prime time for him to go. Let me go. Highest bidder was the highest bidder. Who's the highest bidder? Is that number too high for the Knicks? That they're going to be like, we can't play our backup point guard, or maybe our starting two guard. Maybe we don't want to match that salary. I'm not saying it's going to happen. I'm not saying we don't want to pay him, but the amount of what he may get next summer if he balls out as a key piece, like Brunson was to Dallas that playoff, it may be an offer that we are not willing to take that step with when we may see something else out there. I'm not saying this is a fact.
Yeah, Wiz. I think we got that. I think we get what you're saying and how the Knicks could be thinking rationally that they may not want to pay that much money to a backup player. However, Quickly is a little different because not only he's a backup player, but he's our backup point guard / combo guard that is our main scoring option off of the bench. And he's an elite defender. That's true too.
Right. And
he's a little different.
But let me throw this in just real quick. How is Wiz gonna say that the Knicks may not want to pay that much money to a backup when they just showed you this summer they would do it when they signed Josh Hart? This argument all over the place makes zero sense.
Yeah,
like why would you pay Dante DiVincenzo 4 years at 12 to 13 mil a year and then extend Josh Hart in the same role that you just mentioned, right? Back up off the bench, not a primary player, but offer Josh Hart between 18 and 19 mil a year for 4 years. It makes zero sense.
If I'm watching Orlando and I want my starting point guard to be IQ, I'm paying him starting point guard salary at next year's rate that may be high 20s. Who knows if they're going to go crazy and someone goes insanity and go IQ sanity and go boom, 30 mil. I'm not saying that's a fact. I'm just saying I'm not paying IQ 30 mil a year.
Yeah, but okay, one more thing, and I'll let you continue to talk. Wiz, the other thing too is, remember, none of that matters unless IQ signs the offer sheet, right?
Right.
Yeah. All right. So if he don't sign the offer sheet, we don't got a match. The other thing is maybe because Mitch feels a certain way about the Knicks organization. Maybe IQ outside of this contract negotiation, maybe he senses a little bit of loyalty too, and he just wants to see it play out. Maybe the Knicks go to him and tell him, listen, this is what we're prepared to give you. If you want it, we'd love to have you here. If not, can we work out something? We'll try to send you, get the best deals together. We'll do a sign and trade where you can go to a situation that's favorable for what you want. You get your money and we'll get something back that can help the team. He might do that.
As well. I'm playing devil's advocate about the caution.
Or the Knicks can match it.
Or the Knicks can match.
It don't matter no matter what the dollar amount is, all the Knicks can match. Because the dichotomy is different. What you're failing to realize is this: there are players in the NBA right now scheduled to make $62 million a year, right? And the Knicks on their roster don't have a player making $30 million a year.
Facts.
And we're complaining about the money, right? We're complaining about the money. But the Knicks don't have a player making $30 million a year. And there are teams in the NBA that have 2 or 3 players that are making above $30 million a year. And we are complaining about Emmanuel Quickly making starting point guard money.
I was the one who put an offer in this summer of offering Quickly $25 million a year. Just keep him.
Right. And the player contracts the money also goes up next year as well. So we're going to have more money that we can actually spend for Quickly.
I put it out there. I would have offered Quickly $25 million for Quickly this summer. Remember, we were joking about Hart getting 20 plus. and you go, if Hart gets 20 plus, you're gonna like Freezie's gonna. I don't know what you're gonna do, Freezie, but I was saying I give IQ 25 mil a year this past summer. So I'm an IQ fan, not IQ high, but IQ fan. And I would give IQ 20, would have given him 25 mil a year this past summer. So I don't see it about this year's performance because I just believe in him like that. I would want to keep him, and I did it because I want to keep IQ. But right now, because they didn't offer him what maybe he thought he was worth, where he is right now mentally, especially when if he balls out, I shouldn't say fifth, when he balls out this season, and he looks like a starting point guard, potentially all-star starting point guard, this next 4 or 5 months, he may actually catch a little bit of Jordan Poole-like attitude and be like, I want my own team, I want my own money. Who's coming at me? And he pulls out, goes, let me go sign with Clutch. And then they really have some problems.
Well, okay. One more thing, Wiz. I said I was going to be the last thing, but I got one more. Listen, I think the Knicks did what they needed to do with regards to Quickly. This is the same thing they actually should have did with RJ, but they didn't because they threw RJ's name out there, the face of the franchise, put him out there in trades, and then decided at the last hour, no, we don't want to trade RJ. And so they had to give RJ the money to kind of save face because RJ probably felt a little disrespected. He's got pride. And so they paid him. I would have preferred to have RJ play out the year and then pay him after. I'm not saying letting him go. I just want him to earn the money and earn what his value is going, like what his play is going to dictate what his value is to me. I
Right,
think
you know how much
RJ
RJ makes this year, though, right?
Oh yeah. No, it's not a bad deal either.
RJ Barrett makes $23 million this year.
It's a great deal. It's a great deal. And so my whole thing is I'm thinking this is what they wanted to do with RJ. They didn't do it. So they're doing it with Quickly because they have the opportunity to do it and let Quickly show his value. If he plays above and beyond what he did last year, then he earns what he gets. And if I'm also one of them different people. I'm not looking at it like a lot of Knicks fans are looking at it with the money. I don't care if it looks like Quickly is making more money than Jalen Brunson. I don't care because a year after that, Jalen Brunson's contract is going to go through the roof. So I don't care. It's gonna even out eventually. It's okay. Right. And Jalen Brunson, believe me, he ain't counting the next man's pockets because his pockets is gonna be quite fat.
Right.
But there are two other factors with IQ and RJ. IQ is a backup player where RJ is a starter and he knows he's going to be a starter for new contracts. I don't understand. I wanted to wait for RJ too. But since he took that salary, I'm glad with the salary he took. But if we're going to wait for RJ, he knew that I'm going to be a starter next year and still maybe one of the stars of the team, the big three. And I love New York like Obi kind of loved New York. RJ came in here so happy to be a New Yorker and love the city, where IQ is a backup player. So he has a dimension of the option of a higher salary potentially offered and starting being the leader of his own team with the fact, those factors are very important.
So all right. I see what you're doing, Wiz. I see what you're saying, and I don't mean to cut you off. It's just that when you're making this point, I get it. Right. But so you're saying as a Knicks organization, all right, Quickly, you can either be the sixth man on this team where you're playing 30 minutes a night and you're the primary ball handler.
No, he said backup. Wiz said backup 5 times. I was gonna jump in and
oh no, yeah. That's what I mean. Like you're playing, you're still getting 30 minutes a night as the sixth man off the bench, and you are the primary scoring option off the bench. And you also are a lot of times out there in clutch time when the starters are out there at the end of the games. You get that same level of love and respect. I don't know if you compare that to any other spot, how many other six men get the same level of freedom that Quickly gets on this New York Knicks team. That's one. Okay. Right. The other thing is, all right, you can stay here on the Knicks team where we are trying to ascend. We are making it further in the playoffs each year and might have a chance at getting to the Eastern Conference Finals and the Finals. Or you can go be a starter, get your money, and play for the Orlando Magic. And we'll see when you ever get to touch the playoffs. You know what I mean? Like they've got that in their cachet that they could throw out there. And if he loves New York, that's another thing. He might love being here. So that, like, I don't know. There's other things going on here Not a lot of 6 men are getting the time that Quickly's getting right now and getting that freedom to take shots from 30 feet away and be that primary bench scoring option. I'm just saying there's some benefits here.
I'm not saying they're not. I'm seeing the pros and the cons, but I'm seeing the people whose mindset is, I want to be the starter and leader of the team. I think Jordan Poole is like that. I think Jordan Poole will never want to be a backup. Never want. Let me say the word backup. No, doesn't want to be a non-starting.
Ron, he said backup again. You heard him? He said backup twice.
Nah, let's say starter.
So Ron, the reason why I'm emphasizing when we say backup, the reason why I'm emphasizing it is just because Quickly comes off the bench doesn't mean in the pecking order of talented players that Quickly is lesser talented than the guys that start.
No,
right? If you're in the grand scheme of things, you want your best players to be paid the most. And Emmanuel Quickly right now is one of the Knicks' better players. You know what I'm saying? Because if I ask you right now who's better, Quentin Grimes or Emmanuel Quickly, what would you say? Quickly, easily. Easily. If we ask, well, who would you rather have, Emmanuel Quickly or Mitchell Robinson? You'd be like, Mitch is a starter, man. He's been a starter for a long time. But I don't know. That's closer than I would have imagined it would have been. You know what I'm saying? And then in 2 years, who's going to be the better player, Jalen Brunson or Emmanuel Quickly? That's very interesting because it also took Jalen Brunson 4 full seasons before he signed with the Knicks. Right? Because if you're a believer in Brunson and not a believer in Quickly, and you heard Jalen Brunson say out of his own mouth that Emmanuel Quickly is more talented than me.
Antics, Freezie. The word backup, take the word backup off then. But
you said the word backup. I didn't.
In the context of being lesser, backup doesn't mean lesser. Backup point guard to the current starting point guard is how the description of backup is to starters. The starting point guard is Brunson. The backup point guard is Quickly, even though he's not a backup player or a sub-level player. Harden was a backup to West in OKC, right? He was a sixth man who was going to get paid a certain amount, but not enough for him. But he also wanted to be the starter, and he left OKC because he's like, I could win a championship with these guys. I could go to Houston and start all over.
No, again, that's not totally true either.
Not true. I know
that's not totally true because the thing about it is OKC had a choice, right? They were like, do we pay Harden when we know that we have Eric Mena and Reggie Jackson killing Russell Westbrook in practice every day? Or do we pay Serge Ibaka this money and take a gamble that Reggie Jackson, James Harden, and Eric Mena, one of those three, will develop into the backup, right, a quality backup if we move one or the other? The most valuable backup out of that group was James Harden. So they traded James Harden in order to get assets for him, knowing they had Eric Mena and Reggie Jackson both. Oklahoma City is the only team that we know that had four point guards that all felt like they should start. So they traded Harden because they could get the biggest haul for Harden. If they could have, if they would have got a bigger haul for Reggie Jackson, they would have traded Reggie Jackson, right, and kept Harden. But they got a bigger haul for James Harden. That's why they traded him, because they said out of the three that we have and the power forward position is Serge and Nick Collison. Serge Ibaka is so much better than Nick Collison that we can't afford to lose Serge Ibaka and then have all these point guards getting 0 minutes. So trade Harden, Reggie Jackson gets minutes, you get a haul for Harden, and you keep Serge Ibaka. That's how that played out. It wasn't that OKC just didn't want to keep Harden. Of course they wanted to keep Harden.
Circumstances are
Harden wound up being the MVP of the league, bro. The team that knew that talent before anybody is OKC.
But the fact is, Freezie, the circumstances are multiple guards at a spot, and a very valuable guard, probably the most valuable of all of them, is potentially able to bring us some things that may help us get to the next level if he doesn't pan out, and if we can potentially prevent possibility of losing him.
But Wiz, who's the guy that's on the level? What other guards on the bench are on the level of Brunson and Quickly?
Who was on the level of Harden at the time?
Reggie Jackson.
Guys? I don't think so.
You gotta know so, bro. You gotta know so, because James Harden did not become James Harden until he got to Houston, bro.
I know, but
James Harden wasn't playing MVP caliber with OKC. If he was, they would have never traded him.
They didn't see what's coming. Like you see what's coming.
James Harden was a talented guy that got an opportunity somewhere else, and he shined.
Like IQ may want.
Right.
And so the chances we may lose him for nothing if he gets an offer that's crazy that we, even if we have the money to afford him, we may not do because Leon Rose is very frugal and wants to look.
He ain't frugal, bro. He's not frugal. You got to stop saying that. How is he frugal when he's paying Evan Fournier right now to be on the bench and not get value for him?
He screwed up there. But
and what about the 3 years, $30 million he gave to Nerlens Noel?
Huge mistake.
How about the 2 years, $16 million he gave to Kemba Walker, and he had to eat it? How about the contract he gave Austin Rivers? Bro, we gotta stop saying. We just say it. Wiz right now. I think he's just saying stuff, bro.
I'm not saying he won't do it, Freezie. I'm just saying I think he's frugal, but he will.
How is he? Where's the example of him being frugal? Did he not give Evan Fournier 4 years, $72 million, and Evan Fournier wasn't a starter for 2 years?
Wiz, I think when you're saying it that way, I think you just the terminology is not quite right.
Clearly,
I don't
off.
think. I think you might say he's risk averse,
right?
Because he is risk adverse. He doesn't want to just go make a trade to make a trade, or he second guesses a lot of stuff. That's why he hasn't pulled off a big trade as of yet. It has to feel right to him, but not frugal. He does spend the money on the guys. When the guys are here, he pays them. So I wouldn't say that.
He just gave Josh Hart 4 years, $80 million.
Yeah, that's pocket
for
change.
A backup. And
he said that's pocket change.
Right. And it's not just a 4 years, $80 million. He traded a first-round pick to get Hart. So not only did you trade a first-round pick, you also gave him the money. There is no frugality in that for a backup, for a dude coming off the bench. There is no frugality in that.
I'm not saying
I like the fact that you standing on something today, Wiz. I don't know why, but hey, you on it.
I don't know why Wiz doing it.
I'm saying he watches the money carefully to make sure it's worth the value. And I'm
gotcha. Well, did that? Okay.
Watching the money carefully to make sure it's worth the value based on his risk assessment. Right? His risk assessment is what I can get out of this guy. Is what I think he's worth. And do I want a $30-40 million a year player? He doesn't want it right now unless that player is going to come out there and take it to the next level, right?
But we don't know that he does. Well, that goes back to what's being said. Was we don't know that he doesn't want that right now because remember, BT already said it. This year, going into next year, with the extra money, the salary cap stuff has gone up, and it's going to go up. So, once again, ownership may not be looking at it in the same way that fans are looking at it. They might say, okay, we understand. Right now, we don't want to give them the money, but at the end of the season, we may have to. But we understand there's going to be more money in the pot and that all salaries are going up. So they may be willing to give IQ the 25 or 30 million. They may be willing to go to 30 million for IQ. We don't know, but they just want to make sure that IQ plays out this year and continues to give them the same value they've been seeing so that they can know, okay, this is who he is. At least we're getting this. We pay him all this money. This is at least what we're getting. He's done it 2 years in a row.
Two arguments. Rose risk averse. When the next move he makes, you guys may go, what the heck was that when he trades 15 players for one player next year, right? And you're like, what are you doing? Because you don't know where his point is, his critical pressure point is, where he's going to be like, that's the move I've been waiting for. That's what I want. And you guys go, that was way too much. But unfortunately, from his point of view, that's what he's been waiting for. We also don't know. Let's use one example of how players feel compared to what we should feel. I was 30 minutes a game, critical part of the team, New York, heart and love. We take care of. all the good things you can think about with IQ feeling right now. People are saying right now that Fournier should be happy. He's chilling, making 19 bills, chilling back on the bench. Some people are not happy just making money. They are happy contributing and doing what they love. So we
But
can't make.
Wiz,
I never once made a statement about IQ's feeling about
but
this.
Wiz, but Wiz, you're making a mistake because you're saying if they want to help and contribute over the last, let's say, 3 or 4 years, they have contributed. They have built what we currently have now. Any trade that they make can make them not be able to work next year. One and two. On top of that, any trade they make, it will open up a waterfall of nothing but problems. Oh, we should have traded for Mitchell earlier in the season instead of as opposed to waiting to now if we don't win the championship. That is why I'm saying right now today's goal is let's make the Eastern Conference Final with what we got in 4 years. 3 years out of the four, we make the playoffs and we're good. That's really good for an organization, especially if you're fighting for your contract. Quickly's not the only one fighting for a job here.
Okay. So
Also,
again,
the front office.
this is what I want. No, the results of what will happen with this trade. I'm saying this is what I'm sensing, and it's just a feeling. It's just a feeling. Maybe I'm too emotional because right now I'm in LA and we all soft out here. We're soft with too much sunshine. What's the temperature today? It's a frigid 68 degrees on the west side over here right now. I'm a little chilly. I gotta go get my avocado toast and my latte with oat milk. But other than that,
And your bean burgers.
exactly. I'm just saying I sense this crazy sense. And so tomorrow morning, Ron, when I come on and they made the deal, and you order my pound of salmon every Saturday, and you stop doing your dance move when you're doing your opening, the intro with no more dance moves based on my request, because I'll be the king of your stay off the ledge. Say it again, SKF.
When we dream, we dream big, man. That's all I got to say.
He in the building, yeah.
I was just gonna say real quick. Let me just say this. I wish that you can step back from that ledge, my friend. You can cut ties with all the lies you've been living in. If you don't want to see me again, I can understand. Please just step away from the ledge, bro. That's all I'm asking.
On the ledge. I'm just throwing some thoughts out there based on instincts. My history.
Wiz just said, "I want violence today. I'm gonna throw this bomb in here and see what happens. Let's see what it does."
GI, come on, GI, bring the fire, man. Bring the smoke.
He set off a gas bomb from World War I. But like how they have the nuke bomb. This is like the prerequisite of that, like the mustard bomb, and that nobody knows even existed. Like, where the hell you get that from? That's what he's doing right now.
Look at Julian.
Listen. I'm about to get out of here personally, man. I already did an 1.5-hour podcast. I've been here for about 2.5 hours. I don't know what am I doing. I'm gonna be all talked out tomorrow for my 3.5-hour podcast. So I gotta relax.
Avoid the ledge, man. Avoid the ledge.
Yeah, man. But listen, I just want to say I appreciate all you guys. Appreciate the chat. Shout out to all y'all. BT, GI in the building, man. Damn, GI. Like, I love chopping it up with GI, man, but I got to run. But Wiz, good to see you. Freezie, thank you for having me as always. Appreciate you, my brother. Hey, man, listen, the Knicks going to win this game tonight because there's too many reasons for us not to. We need to take care of business. Tomorrow, we'll do the same thing to Charlotte, and I'll be talking about it in the midday. You know what I mean? We'll talk about what's going on, man. But I appreciate all y'all. Wiz, listen. I don't know. They saying you got some curry powder. Something's going on, man. Whatever it is, relax. Take it easy, brother.
They say curry is a hell of a drug, bro.
Hey, man. Take it easy, y'all. I'll catch y'all the next one.
Tomorrow morning, right?
Tomorrow morning, 11:30 or 11:45, depending on if I have to have a late breakfast. But don't hold me.
Yeah,
8:30.
man.
Later.
Hey, thanks for coming through, bro.
Appreciate you guys.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Go ahead,
GI is
Gato.
in the building. GI in the
Yeah,
building.
I'm ready
GI,
to
what's
hear
up,
what you
man?
got to say.
Listen, man, I'm kind of waiting 25 games, man, because I just haven't seen a team fight this hard from first man to 11th man, 12th man. There are guys licking the practice floor to participate with this team, but it's just not enough uniforms and minutes. I can only imagine how this is going to keep. I get Leon Rose. I just want to say, forgive me. I didn't see your vision, homie. I didn't know where you was going with this. I'm like, we supposed to be in the star acquisition phase, and we ain't acquiring no stars. But what he says, yeah, man, anybody can get stars. Man, who could build a core team? And then 3 years ago, RJ's not developing. Now we got FIBA All-Star RJ. We quickly can't dribble. But now quickly dribbles the ball around the court. He just jumps at people and just be dribbling everywhere and just be. I don't know when I'm going to stop dribbling. We say Mitchell Robinson can't stay out of foul trouble. Don't have no offensive game. He's useless to us. So we get him cheap for $56 million, and now he's only playing like one of the top centers in all of the NBA. All of these, Randall, he's going to have his ups and downs, but he's put this franchise on his back, hasn't run from it, and continues to put up 25, 10, and 9. Like all of this isn't happening, and the little engine that will. I don't get it. All things being equal, a guy 6 feet, no speed, no hops, should not be getting shots wherever he feels like in today's NBA. These 6'7" freak athletes who could go and play tight end in the NFL right now cannot figure out how to keep this man. He pushes them that way, then he pushes them this. Nobody pushes him on the floor anywhere. The will of this team, starting from the coach down, I completely get it. I've never been this excited to be a Knicks fan. Now, still not championship caliber, but nobody would have said that if we didn't trade Randall, trade RJ, 3 left-handed players, nobody was saying we'd be looking like one of the top 4 to 5 teams in the NBA. Nobody was willing to say that. Nobody had the cojones to say it. And now here we all are. There's no one person on any of this app that foresaw that the Villanova boys, we joked about it last year, and I'm sure Michael Bridges is probably like, listen, I'm going to let my contract run out. Wiz, listen, I see you every day. You always got a shirt and tie on, right? You always got, so I know you do something corporate. And corporate nepotism is not supposed to work. We're supposed to say, nah, you only bringing in people you familiar with. That's not supposed to work. You're going to limit the amount of talent. Well, Leon Rose is making nepotism and familiarity work for him. And let's not forget Isaiah Hartenstein, who's improving. Grimes still gives me, I don't know if this role fits Grimes, but you know what? Where he doesn't get the points, he goes out and makes it up on the defensive end. We are one of the most vicious defensive teams in all of the league. We make you play your best game when you play us. Guys, thank you for letting me rant for that 2 or 3 minutes.
Yeah. Yeah, man.
Freezie walks back his hour and a half from my crazy take. Okay. Go ahead, Freezie, man. Let's do tonight's game, man, or something.
No, I gotta get out of here, man, because I gotta wrap up some stuff before I do tonight. Before we do tonight's game, so we're gonna call the game tonight, and we're gonna do the Knicks at Night podcast. So I just want to get some stuff done.
Go New York, go.
Get some stuff done before the game come on, and then I gotta walk the dog, man. You know he in here whining. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, it's all Wiz's fault, bro. If Wiz wouldn't been in here with that
Yep.
Wizards at Night podcast talk. You know what I'm saying? The Wizards morning drive.
Oh no!
He wouldn't have been in here whining.
Oh no, you didn't.
Yeah, welcome to
I missed the good part.
Wizards. Oh no, you didn't, bro. Trust me. No, you didn't. No,
Yes,
you
you
didn't.
did.
You didn't miss it, bro. Trust me. The brain cells that you saved, bro.
We just lost times 100.
Yes, yes. We out here talking
So
about
his
trading
take
quickly.
wasn't like mine. His take wasn't like mine. We had different takes.
No, yours was a take. Wiz's was more like
propaganda.
something. Yeah. He trade RJ Barrett and Emmanuel quickly for Kyle Kuzma.
And Poole.
Yeah. And something else. And then when we asked him what
And
the something
draft
else
picks.
was, he said something valuable from a 2-9 team.
And
if
a
a 2-9 team
backup
had
guard
something
that's
valuable, they wouldn't be 2-9.
I'm fact, baby. Unrestricted draft pick. Draft pick for next year. We got Stefan. We got a UConn player with the boys. Oh,
yeah.
I'm so afraid. I'm so afraid to mess with this chemistry. This chemistry is unreal. I don't know that superstars beat chemistry. We shall see. This is really looking like the Detroit Pistons of 99, 2000. It really started to look like that now. Now they really are.
Right. On that note, I'm gonna get out of here, everybody, so I can get some stuff done because I got to squeeze a lot of stuff in 3 hours. But we're definitely gonna rock. Gi, thank you for coming through, man. It's good to see you, man. I hadn't seen you in a while. I hope all is well. Wiz, man, it's good to see you, man. I hadn't seen you in a while, man. I hope all is well and everything, man. Everybody, we're gonna get out of here. We'll holler at y'all later.
Peace.
Y'all.